It's about September. I may have to hold off on that. Well, it depends on which one I get.
Right.
Which one I get, but I had to hold off and get one of those because I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. So apparently, YouTube has now changed this shit. So as soon as I hit start streaming on OBS, it's now streaming on YouTube.
Really?
That's trash.
That is trash.
I started over and deleted the one that we just did.
Oh, dope. That's yo, YouTube doing too much right now, yo.
Yeah, I noticed it because I was about to hit go live,
right?
And then the button says end stream, and I'm like, hold on.
Was anybody watching it? Because we ain't shared.
I don't know.
It should tell you right up there. You should see like one.
I deleted it already.
Oh, I'm talking about while it was going live.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. I just saw that we were streaming. And I'm like, hold on, this is not right.
Right. When did you start? When did you start it though?
Half hour ago.
God damn. So somebody could have been watching that shit. Possibly. Could have got a notification.
Right. All right. Yeah, YouTube is messing up my agency. Oh shit! I didn't know you can look at who's
who watched,
who's watching.
Yeah, did it have anybody on there?
No. Again, I deleted that. That's gone.
Okay.
I have no way. I'm talking about the one that's currently happening. Yeah. You can look at participants.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. Never gave it a shot. Never looked at it.
So this is going to be.
So share the things.
All right. This is definitely going to be a little difficult.
You broke it.
It's going to be a little difficult because this shit keep going out. Hopefully we can get a long stretch before it goes out again.
Mm-hmm. That is the hope. Pages. Black culture geeks. I don't know how to accurately pronounce that.
Geekz.
Like to a long
Geekz.
no, absolutely not. I refuse. I reject your reality and substitute my own. I always felt like that was a super nerdy gangster thing to say.
You reject that reality?
Yeah, I reject your reality and substitute my own. Like, fuck what you think, basically.
Oh. I mean,
you went out again. I can't hear you. We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Oh, yo, oh, yo, oh, oh, yo, oh, yo, oh, 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 oh. Share to a page. The multi-world page, multi-world entertainment, share, the refresh, you can't copy refresh, I am Iron Man,
You're actually not
Iron Man. That was my song, Let Me Be. That was my song so much that I forgot which show it went to.
You remember what show it went to? The Iron Man show. What kind of games you playing?
No, I know that. I'm saying like I don't remember the show like that.
Oh, it's on Disney Plus. Go check it out.
Really? I shouldn't be surprised.
But remember, the first season did not have that song. That song was the came at by the second season. So
Right.
the reason I remember is because, first of all, it stuck out because it was more rockish,
Right.
and a lot of the intro music before that for these type of shows, it was more. I don't know, yo. Like it had rock elements to it, but it was really on the nose.
Word.
Like the Fantastic Four song. We were on our way to space.
Yeah.
We got
No
hit
bueno.
with cosmic rays.
No bueno. No bueno.
It's a bit on the nose, right?
Basura.
Just saying. Bit
Pure
on the
basura.
nose. It was ass.
Oh, the absolute asses.
It was
Yeah,
definitely ass.
speaking of, so currently, Adequate, Kristen, and I are going to be doing a review show.
What y'all reviewing?
Old shit.
What, like Pop-Tarts or what?
No. Shows, movies. And first up is the first season of Moesha, because I'm seeing a lot of narratives about the show. Narratives on Netflix. And obviously, I have my memory from when I was young.
Yep.
Watching it. And I try to filter that through my adult brain. And I'm feeling like some of these narratives ain't what people are putting out. So I watch. We, like I said, we're doing the first season. I think we're shooting Tuesday. I finished this first season already. And
so wait a minute, is that is that going on Patreon?
You know, I don't know. I think it might need to, I think it should go on the YouTube.
I do too.
Because we don't really have anything dedicated to YouTube.
Right.
So I think that's gonna go on the YouTube. And yeah, I finished watching the first season, and it's like, as far as the first season is concerned, I see the elements that the people are talking about, but it's like, y'all on some other type shit.
Well,
I think
there is a balance a lot of times that people have a hard time striking. I mean, look, even myself at times. The thing is, there was a certain way of talking and speaking. There was a certain way of behavior for that era. And what happens is, when it gets pulled into today's era, you see all the gaping stuff. And I do this all the time with all kinds of things, right? It's pretty hard to find any of the entertainment we watched back then that's devoid of that. So that when you do find something that's before its time, you go, oh, okay, they was on point with some shit, right? But the vast majority of the things we watched had a bunch of misogyny in it. It also had a bunch of...
We're talking about some shit from 20 years... Well,
yeah.
30... Almost 30 years ago now.
Yo, mad misogyny, mad dumbass ideas about black people, mad dumbass ideas about men.
There's some things... There's some things in that first season where I'm like, some of this had to be written by white people.
Yeah. Probably a lot of it.
Well, yeah. I think I'm going to include that in the episode too. Who produced, who wrote.
And again, people going to need to understand a couple of things about the way the entertainment industry works first. In regards to black people and how much power we actually have versus the perception of the power we have. We just saw this with Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
You know, like, yo, they have always been gatekeepers. Now, these gatekeepers gatekeep everybody. But the way they gatekeep black people hit a little different.
It's much better today.
Way better.
But back then, no, it wasn't.
Niggas was lucky to have a show where it was a bunch of black people on there.
That's it.
They was lucky to have that.
We were lucky to get that. Just that. Yo, the funniest thing about watching this season again is, as a child, I did not have a lens. Not to say that I had no idea about it, but I didn't have any lens to filter this show through the fact that it was in like LA.
Right.
Like in my head as a child, that played no factor.
Oh, now I was grown, so it did definitely play a factor.
Right.
Everything from their accents and some of the shit they was on, like
core. Like what the car?
Yeah.
Car is what you got you. Like I just thought it was I just thought they were saying it funny back then.
Nah.
And then like to like the clothes, to like some of the there was a Foo Schnickens reference.
Yep.
That I absolutely did not get back then. Not at all. Not even close. And then, another funny thing is the not screwed up. There's a bunch of random, seemingly unnecessary B-roll in this goddamn show.
Oh yeah, it was. The shit they would cut to had absolute
cut scenes.
But you know what though?
Transition scenes, I guess.
I've seen very similar transition scenes like that in 2.5 Men, where like, and to the point, and maybe it's also because
that's a fact.
I am focused so heavily on film now and recording this shit, but I'll be picking out like, yo, why did you put this here?
Well, what was this choice motivated by?
Now, some stuff, it'll show the beach where they live, right? And then you'll hear a portion of the theme song, man.
Right.
And then it goes into the shit right there, right?
And I'm like, bro, what is that? Don't really.
That's the transition from the scene. Okay, I mean, it must have worked. Them niggas had that show for a long time. It must have worked.
Sure, but my guy, no.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't have done it. I mean,
no, it was B-roll for B-roll's sake.
Yeah, like we need something to break up this scene, this scene and that scene. So we're gonna put this in here, and
I wonder if sometimes that stuff is done to pad the time.
I can believe it. Most half-hour TV shows are actually only 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they got commercials and all that shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, because you could just make a quick listen. Doing this shit myself has shown me, especially on YouTube, look at a lot of some of the B-roll that transitions in some of these YouTube videos. Let's look at it. Take a look. Some of that shit, and I didn't notice it until that people were doing this on purpose. Until I saw a YouTuber that was talking about it, and he was giving a tutorial on B-roll, and he was saying it can be anything. And then he did these little tricks with his camera. We move it real fast, this directional, go up and down, and then they edit that shit in real fast or whatever. And I know I said, yo, I've been watching YouTubers do, like, I've seen the finished results of YouTubers doing this and didn't even like pick up on it until this nigga just said this. And now I'm like, yo, a lot of them dudes do that now.
See it everywhere now.
Yo, and listen, my favorite, I'm gonna say two favorite YouTube filmmakers. That's what I call them that. It's probably, when it comes to this sort of shit, Peter McKinnon,
of course,
and Casey Neistat. Not because I watch his channel all the time, but when I was watching from time to time, he does this same shit. And because he was in
I don't follow Casey though.
Yo, so I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, listen. Like, I still rock with Peter, but Casey, nah, right? You gone.
You know, he was just on that Netflix movie.
What one?
Project Power, the one that came out yesterday with Jamie Foxx and about the superpowers. He's in that. He's not in it long. It's like in a few scenes. But the scene, his last scene.
Is he a character or is it a cameo?
he's a little more than a cameo, but not much more. But because the first time you see him is definitely kind of a cameo where he has his girlfriend with him, and it's some shit going on. But then later, I didn't think we was gonna see him again. I thought I was, oh, damn, Casey Neistat shit. But it was later on in the film, he was in a very consequential scene, even though he didn't have a shit ton of lines, and his girlfriend was very important. The one place girl very important in that scene. So, because it's so funny to tell you how much you can tell the YouTubers in my family, because as soon as I seen them, I turned to my daughter, was like, you know this? That's Casey. She said, that's Casey Neistat. Like, nobody else in this house would have got that. Nobody else in this house would have got it. And my daughter doesn't do YouTube. She doesn't create for YouTube, but she watches a ton of it.
Right.
She belongs to various different verses on YouTube. Kind of like us, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the photography and videography shit, the travel shit, the gaming shit, the comic book shit, the battle rap shit, the fucking travel, the expat African expat shit. Yo, I'm in a lot of different universes. And let me tell you one thing I noticed about that. So everywhere you go, no matter what group here on YouTube you follow around and watch their content, they all be on kind of the same shit when it comes to the pettiness show. And between creators, I didn't seen some shit. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna when we actually start the show, I'm going to bring up some of the petty shit that I saw this week, because it's petty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's petty as fuck. I see. I have a notification. Did somebody see? Yes. All right. So my man Ben Rice. Now, all right. So my man Ben Rice. He just liked the post that I shared about the show. Been knowing Ben here on Facebook for some years. He's been a fan of the music, all of that. And we also shared a love of the Orlando parks, right? Mm-hmm. He wound up moving down there not too long ago. And I remember when Ben moved down there, I told him, said, yo, I'm jealous, because you get to go right in, like, just drive right to the park. Even if you're not going into Universal itself, you go right in the City Walk, which is free to go in. You know what I'm saying? Just walk right in the City Walk. And he was like, yeah, man, good times. And then 2020 appeared. Pandemic Central. Mm-hmm. And I just don't like, now I've been cured. I've been healed of a lot of that, because the idea of me going into one of those parks now, nah, B. Nah. I saw too many. I have repressed memories of my trips down there that I didn't even remember. My mind suppressed it. Probably keep me from going insane, right? But I saw people walk out the bathrooms and not wash their hands. I get flashbacks thinking about motherfuckers touching the rails along the queue when you go into the rides. The lines being, now we always use the VIP, so the lines we were in weren't
fucking bougie.
The lines we were in weren't always packed like that. Most of the time they weren't. But I'm just saying, even walking in the crowds, like when people just walking through the park and there's crowds of people coming through and you have to negotiate your way through, or when one of the people in the costumes come through and people want to go take pictures and it's a crowd around that. I'm thinking about all this shit. I'm thinking about the turnstiles. I'm thinking some turnstiles in there. I'm thinking about the restaurants that's in there. I'm thinking about all that shit. I'm thinking about the time when the jazz band just popped up on the corner inside the park and started playing, and everybody ran over there and started dancing, doing their thing. And it looked like Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? And they all And I'm over there with my camera. Matter of fact, I took the footage. There's a video on my Reaper Legion Network channel with that footage. Like, it was one of the things I said that I loved most about Universal, because they had to me, they did a better job at the stuff, making stuff seem like it was spontaneous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This probably was scheduled, but they do a better job making it seem like it's spontaneous. In Disney, everything seems like scripted and ordered, you know. And I look back at that footage and like, we was packed in there, job tight. And this is pre-Rona, but I start thinking about it now, in the age of Rona, and I start going, oh hell no, I'm not going down there. You can't get me to go down there, yo. No, absolutely not. And they got a douchebag for a governor. He is an absolute piece of work, yo.
Your cousin.
I mean, no, we're not related, but we're not related, but he is not bright. Like, even the screenshots of his face show that. And I can't believe motherfuckers didn't, like, I can't believe, like, all right, Andrew Gilliam got caught up in some bullshit. Absolutely. But that was personal bullshit from what I saw. That wasn't malfeasance as far as embezzlement, corruption. No, it was him. The man was hiding his truth, and he got caught in his truth. You know what I'm saying? He got caught in his truth. But this other guy, DeSantis, yo, literally every screenshot I see of him, he looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. Every single one, he's got this look. And it's scary, and it's like, and y'all gave him the keys to the state. So when he was saying crazy shit, when he was saying crazy shit like when they told him, yo, wow, the beach is open, are you crazy? Motherfuckers is gonna die down there. The fuck? And he was like, no, everything is fine, we're good, it's outside. You know what would have been beautiful? Well, it's not beautiful, people get down there getting sick, but you know what would have been funny, like against him, if at the time when he was saying that, the numbers had went up, and then one of his advisors, while he was saying, right when he was saying that, would have tapped him on the shoulder, like, Mr. Governor, look at this. Yo, you know what's actually happening? Yeah, right. Like, this is what's actually going to happen. And it makes it worse because this is what they said. It takes like 2 weeks or something like that for the shit to show in the case loads of people getting diagnosed. It takes like 2 weeks or so. So the absolute reason why Florida got hit up the way it got hit up is because of Governor DeSantis. No one can convince me of anything different.
He didn't make the moves that were necessary.
He poo-pooed.
And some of the moves that he made were counter.
Well, outright counter. Yo, he poo-pooed that shit, and he's so busy following in the footsteps of El Cheeto, right? He's so busy following his footsteps and trying to mimic and ape everything he do. He did that shit. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you're in a position where a lot of people listen to you, and you can tell when there's this almost cultish-like fascination with every word that comes out of your face, you have a unique responsibility to tell the people the truth.
Thanks.
You can lie to yourself.
You have to know the truth.
You have to actually know the truth. Yo, you can lie to yourself all day. If you want to go in the mirror and go, we have the greatest economy you've ever seen. And then, if you want to do that to yourself, that's fine. Look in the mirror, pump yourself up, all of that. Do the Hulk Hogan shit with the flexing. All that you want in the mirror. But when you but when you get in public and you got to speak to the people, you need to tell them the naked truth and tell them when you fucked up. Tell them when you, because I was this morning I was watching Adam Ruins Everything, and there was one episode where one of the people that come on the show, recurring characters on the show, Emily, came up there and fact checked all the mistakes that he made. And basically, this was the show.
Yeah,
this was the show's way of putting retractions where they made mistakes, creatively, and getting content and shit. Yo, and Adam,
I love the episode.
Yo, Adam didn't get mad. He didn't do none of that.
Adam, he's like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, I like to learn new things. Right. Yo, so it said it was one part in there where one of his producers was like, Adam, you need to stop admitting to this because it'll ruin your credibility. He said, no, it adds to my credibility. And he's right.
Absolutely.
And he's right. And somewhere along the line, El Cheeto was never taught that you admitting you were wrong adds to your credibility. There's a reason why I am probably more likely to hear something you say. I am more likely to not feel the need to fact check it as much because I've seen you. I've known you for 4 or 5 years now. I've seen you admit when, oh no, I was dead ass. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. I've seen you do that. It adds to your credibility. It doesn't take away from it.
Not at all.
It adds to your credibility.
I'll go out of my way to do it because I don't want to be. There is a certain burden that comes with people feeling like you're always right?
Yeah, facts.
There's absolutely a burden with that.
Facts.
But low key, a very small part of me doesn't want to ruin people's perception.
Yo, and you know what? I'll allow it. Because if more people felt that way, if more people realize that their perception is on the line, when you jump out the window with no evidence,
your audio. Can't hear you. You're talking, but I can't hear you. You're talking. You're talking. I can't hear you. I think he's gone crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, and the worst part about when I can't hear you, it's like stark silence, like pen drop or pen, either one. I find I have issues with some of those words where it's like how commonly people say it because I'm purposely trying to say it. What's the word I'm looking for? Proper like. So like I'll say pen, even though I mean pen, but that's only because I usually say pen when I'm talking about a pen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when I said pen drop, I meant pen drop. Obviously.
Well,
I mean, either way,
there are certain
they're both
things.
light objects.
Yeah. But there are certain words that I have trained myself to not say a certain way anymore. Like I'm from Baltimore, and in Baltimore,
yo, that's the funny thing. I've never done Doug. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I did, and
even growing up hearing it,
until it was pointed out to me, as an adult.
Yeah,
that's when I said and then I started hearing it in other people. I didn't hear it before. I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it. And then as soon as I was pointed out to me, I was like, no, I said what you said. And then I started hearing other people.
Nah, Doug. You ain't say it.
Niggas are saying Doug.
Doug.
They're literally saying Doug instead of dog.
It's dog.
You know what I'm saying?
And the funny thing about it is, a lot of people that say it will be like, what is dog? Like, no, it's just dog. It's just dog. It's simple.
But you know what? It's the same. But you know what? I can't get mad at them so much because it's the same thing I hear from other people when they talk about
thanks.
Baltimore.
Between the South and the most extreme is the South and the North.
Yeah, yo. And when they talk about Baltimore specifically, they talk about that we extend the word to you. But I don't hear that.
I don't hear that.
I don't hear
that. That one, that's the one that gets me.
Yeah.
I say two.
How is that extended?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So I can't.
That one, that one gets me.
So I can't abuse people from my hometown about that shit too much because I see people doing that shit to us all the time.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, that's 2 is the one that be fucking me up because I have no concept of the difference between when I hear other people say it. Like 2,
I don't hear it.
2. I don't hear a difference.
But this is the thing that killed me. This is what I always said, because a lot of them will do that specifically with us, right? And I always laugh at them. I'm like, when I hear you speak, you know what I don't hear? I don't hear Prince Charles.
Yo, you know what's funny? I'm gonna start sending people that AAVE video.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because
you go, buddy.
What I find, especially Northerners, like people who live further up north, what I find is they actually believe they're speaking the King's English, and I'll be listening to them like, you sound funny saying that because you're not. Like when I hear you speak, I don't hear Sean Connery. Right. I'm sorry. I just don't hear Roger Moore. I don't hear that from you. You have an accent. You have an accent, dog. And it's nothing wrong with that because guess what? Everyone does. Literally, everyone has an accent, yo. And some accents have to do with where you are geographically and same thing. Some actually have to do with the people that raised you.
Some have to do with physical limitations.
Lisps. Exactly.
50 Cent getting shot in the face.
Right.
It changed his accent.
Yeah. So again, but when I see people make a big deal about it, especially people here in the United States, when I hear that, I just bust out laughing.
This like, ain't your language.
No, do you hear yourself?
English itself is already a bastardized language.
Yeah.
So then you take it down a step and go to American English.
And by the way, not to let any of these other languages off the hook, because the only reason why English is bastardized now is because this is in modern times. That's what it is. With all these other current languages that's around, you see the connection with the other languages. Most of these other languages at one point were bastardized languages when all those tongues that people no longer speak anymore.
Yeah,
they're gone. They're gone now. So now it gives off the vibe that this language is no nigga. Absolutely not. There were other tongues around when these languages first formed too. And those languages are bastardized versions of those. It's just that nobody speaks those other languages anymore.
That's why I fuck with the Romantic languages. That's my shit. I was talking to Eddie about this shit 2 days ago or so. And I was like, I can't remember how the fuck we was talking about traveling, I think.
Right.
Somehow we got to the topic of traveling.
Right.
And I was like, it really fucks people up. And like when I went to Cancun those 2 times, it really fucked some of the natives up when I would start speaking Spanish to them. And he was like, "You fluent?" I'm like, "No, I'm not fluent. But the thing is, I've always been good at foreign languages, mainly because a lot of foreign languages are math.
Yeah.
English is not.
Right.
English is dumb as fuck." And then he complimented me on my grasp of the English language, but still, that's happenstance. That's
adequate.
Shut up. I just so happen to live here and have dealt with it my entire life. That's why I understand that. But other languages, they have formulas to them.
Yeah.
This is this. There are a few exceptions. English is made up of exceptions.
Right. Right. And again, look, I always tell people, as a matter of fact, I was watching an episode of that today too. Another episode, because he had like a little marathon going on Adam Ruins Everything. We was talking about words and languages and how, the rules of grammar, these are rules that are not written in stone. The shit constantly change. When I was studying Arabic, because for a while I could speak conversational Arabic, but if you don't use it, you'll lose a lot of it. I still remember some of it. Well,
is Arabic as formulaic as a Romantic language?
Depends, because much like English, Arabic, depending on where you go, it's very dialect driven.
Right.
So, a classic example: the Prophet Muhammad, he did not speak Arabia al-Fusa, which is classical Arabic. He spoke the Quraysh dialect because he's from the Quraysh tribe. Right. So it was dialect of Arabic, but it wasn't classical Arabic. Classical Arabic came along way later when they start adding the sun and moon letters and these different punctuations and rules of grammar and shit like that. So it came along much later. So depending on what part of the Middle East you're in, yes, there's some commonalities for sure.
Right.
But there are also dialectic differences with that. And it's a Semitic language. So it has it's a whole different thing going on over there, right? Yeah. And learning it was very difficult, which is why I did not perfect it. I got good at conversational Arabic, which again is different depending on where you.
It's the same with Spanish.
Yeah,
it's the same with Spanish. Because he was asking me because I haven't taken a Spanish course since probably 11th grade. He was like, "Well, how are you still able to communicate with them?" And I'm saying because of how formulaic it is. I've memorized one phrase that helps me through every interaction with a Spanish speaking person. Como se dice? It means how do you say? So if they speak any English, I gave him the example, it's raining outside. So if I go up to somebody and say, como se dice umbrella, they give me that, then I know how to navigate the rest of that conversation. For the most part. Not, again, 11th grade was a long time ago. But like I said, for it's formulaic. There are a bunch of things like if you add, and of course, since I'm on the spot, I'm probably gonna get one of these wrong.
Of course you will.
Like adding the suffix mente is like the suffix ly.
Right. But see, the reason that you can hold on to that is the exact reason that I cannot. Me and math have never been on speaking terms. As a matter of fact, I got better at math as an adult than I ever did while I was in school. Than I ever did when I was in school. And like, as much as I talk about, I'm going to be an expat. The only thing about that, the new dealing with the new infrastructure doesn't bother me. None of it bothers me. The only thing that bothers me is the conversion rate of me being able to speak. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's it.
That's funny. Well, I mean, but see, in my funny enough, it's not necessary for me to actually research it as much anymore because people are just talking about it now.
Right.
So in my travels, I've seen there are more like communities than I expected there to be, like actual communities in places of expats.
Right.
And like, so, I mean, if you're anywhere near any of those places, yeah, they'll help you out.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And again, some places I want to go, they kind of speak like
right.
English. They have a strong understanding of English in those places. Belize, there's no problem that people speak Spanish, yes, but they also speak English just as much as they speak Spanish. So that's not a big deal. Even in the Gambia, there's a lot of people there that speak English. There's a lot of people in Ghana. So a lot of people there in Nigeria. There are a lot of people there to speak English. So, I mean, you will definitely be able to get by. But see, this is where I say tech is my friend, because there's an app for that, and I would be using it.
Fab is running around Poland using Google Translate.
See, and getting by. And getting by.
There, he will run into people that speak English, but for a decent part of it, he's using Google Translate.
See? But
it makes sense.
But see, that's the thing. And then with Google Translate, you literally can just type in what you want to say, and then hit that mic, that speaker number. Yo, this, okay, yeah, I'm good. Just saying,
thanks.
You know, and
I guess we should officially start.
We probably should officially start. You were going for a good minute. So let's do
it. I am recording.
All righty. Welcome, everyone, to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man, SPJ. And I am Tombstone, the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a Black perspective.
Facts
indeed. Now, today we got some fairly interesting stories today.
Sure.
But the first thing I want to talk about is something that is very, very well known and familiar to people in multi-world entertainment. And that's
tech issues.
Well, yes. Yes, that is true. To quote my man Rocket Raccoon, that is also true. But I'm talking about pettiness.
Facts.
Now, for those of you who are on YouTube watching us and watch a lot of YouTube, you know that there are numerous genres of content here on YouTube. Various different ones. And honestly, they're so varied that sometimes it seems like they're all speaking different languages for real. The terms and shit that come up regularly on one genre won't come up in another. But the one thing that I've noticed that they have in common is the petty. It's so petty.
So that's a thing.
I've been watching a lot of Black expat videos, as well as people that live on the continent of Africa. They're making videos and stuff, a lot of videos now too. And I'm watching the interactions between people.
Yeah.
And listen, for the most part, it's positive, but there was a window of about 2 or 3 months where the petty was strong. One sister that moved over to the Gambia,
the petty is strong in this one.
She telling her experience. She's speaking her truth. And a lot of shit she's saying is true. Now, the way she may be saying it, I could see people taking offense to that. Nobody wants you to walk up into their living room and start talking shit about the paint on their sofa. They know it's there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got paint. But the way you said, the way you broach it, you know, you dealing with human beings, and human beings have emotions. There are certain triggers that most human beings are going to respond to. So the way she said it, a lot of them didn't like it. I understand it, but this is not to say that what she was saying is wrong about a lot of the shit. She saw what she saw, and she's living it. She's still living it, right?
Right.
Man, do you realize that there are Africans from Gambia that are, one in particular, young girl who's from Gambia but don't even live in Gambia. She lives in the UK. Put a petition out to get her exported.
Damn.
Deported from Gambia because of these truths she was saying. But saying them aggressively, but these truths that she was saying. And I felt it to be amazing because when I went and clicked on it to look at the petition. She was only going for like 1,000 people. And when I saw it, she was almost at 800. And I'm sitting there going,
damn.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. You willing to try to put the sister out, even though I don't think that shit's going to work. But you're willing to try to put the sister out, even approach this way, for talking about stuff that demonstrably can be proven to be happening and needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
But you not,
because you're talking bad about my
But you're not going when the Chinese over there doing when the Lebanese over there doing when the European over there doing.
Doesn't matter that it's actually detrimental.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. But again, some of the things the sister was talking about, I would feel bad. Pedophilia. These grown ass Europeans coming over there, walking down the street with these little ass girls, these little ass boys, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but even if you're talking about my personal stuff, I'm gonna be more mad at that. I'm gonna go off, nigga. I'm gonna go off.
Yeah, that's.
It's happening though. It's happening. And here's the thing. This other thing for those on the other side of that argument. It's happening here too, right here in the United States. The shit is happening. So I don't want the perception to be that it's only no, but it's happening over there, and there are specific reasons why it's happening over there that are not the same factors over that we have over here. There are reasons why that shit's happening. It can absolutely be fucking stopped. It can absolutely be stopped if people get out of that colonized bag and start seeing this. There ain't no way that you see some grown ass European, some white guy with a little ass black girl that lives down there walking down the street holding hands, but they don't get questioned.
Right.
Not even questioned. What's this? Because it could be this guy knows the parents. And he's a family friend because people travel, go back. It could absolutely be that. But we know this is a problem down there. So somebody better do something, better act something.
Investigate.
Yeah, and that's what the sister did when she saw a situation like that taking place. She got into her bag. Her Atlanta, Georgia bag. Like, no, what's this?
Right.
What's this? No. That's exactly what she did. And to my mind, and I get it, I was born and raised over here. I am confrontational. It's without a question. Without a question. But to my mind, that's what she was supposed to do. Because how could you sleep at night? How could you go home? That would play in a person's
when
mind.
You go home and recount your day.
Oh my!
And you realize what you saw. How does that sit right with you?
And then how do you go on thinking of yourself as a person that's willing to stand for right, and you let that shit go? Like, how? That's a child. We ain't talking about two adults engaging in something with them. That's a child.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Is what it is.
Yeah, and but the level of petty, man. I mean, to do, and then there was a lot of sniping back and forth, and then the one sister that the expat sister had one of her people in her group get on her channel and just go in on the one that did the petition, which it is what it is. But that you trying to get motherfucker kicked out and shit. Look, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like there ain't no rules after that, right? But still, man, like crazy, absolutely crazy,
ridiculous.
Crazy. The petty is strong, man. The petty is strong. Then you got the one incident where these two dumbass young boys pretended that they were robbing some shit, and they just for YouTube shit. They got masked. Yo, what the fuck are you doing?
They got arrested. They got released, and then they did it again.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. They did not look like us. They didn't. They did not look like the Black Culture Geeks.
Absolutely not.
Not at all. Because if we'd have played a prank like that, we would have been shot and killed.
Yeah, I'm about to say
shot and killed.
What arrest?
Yeah, we would have been shot and killed.
That ain't the move.
Nah,
there's certain things that y'all can do that we just won't.
I wouldn't even think about it. Listen,
I'm not touching.
I'm not going to pretend to rob a bank because the outcome is the same either way. When I get there, done, it matters none. Like if I'm really trying to rob the bank,
if I'm going ski mask mode, listen,
I'm going to try to get something. Like look, nah,
because it ain't no point in doing it for fake. We don't do that shit for play. It's no benefit.
It's no benefit doing it for play.
So what am I putting in on my YouTube channel? So that's just going to further the narrative that we're violent criminals. Yeah. Like, no, there's no reason for now a fake bank, some set that I set up.
And sure, even then, that's within controlled
and within context too.
In context, and also making the local police department aware of what we're doing. I'm talking getting on the
I'm talking contracts.
Look here, Porky.
I'm talking.
We about to go down here and do this. And we got the paperwork is right and everything, right? Paperwork is right. You know what I'm saying? And we doing it from this time to that time. We'll be here doing this, and we're going down these streets, and that's how I'm shit. Because believe me, I'm not putting it's bad enough you don't have to put yourself there and wind up there. I'm not putting myself there and wind up there. Nah.
Absolutely. So a quick thing of something that I had to experience this week.
Mm-hmm.
So people who kind of might have good intentions on something, but are not fully understanding what they're mad at.
Right.
And that mad isn't always the right word.
Right.
But not fully understanding what they're criticizing, but having a criticism about it.
I see that a lot. So
this particular situation, because I don't want to talk about anything too heavy, this one is light. It's about Hamilton. So I put my homeboy on to Hamilton, and his one of his friends watched it with him. Well, the first time he watched it, he wasn't with his friend, but the second time he was with his friend. Didn't make it through the second time because his friend. Well, it's a long. It's kind of long, right? So, especially with how people tend to watch TV and stuff today, it's hard to catch everything. So that's why my homeboy went to watch it twice. And then on top of that, the rapping in it is a little fast sometimes. So if you're not used to listening to and digesting fast rap, then that's another reason to have to go back, and because you didn't catch everything. So anyway, so he watched the first time, didn't really catch everything, went to watch the second time with his friend, and didn't get through the second one. So the first watch through, he says to me, this seems like kind of appropriate-y. And I said, how so? Expound on that thought for me. Because I know your heart is in the right place.
Right.
Because this is my friend. I know, like, it's one of my best friends. I know your heart is in the right place.
Right.
Explain that to me. And he's like, the white man doing such and such and such. Stop. He is not white. He's white passing.
Yes, very much so.
But I've never heard Lynn ever like shy away from the fact that he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Never heard it. If it happened,
you let me
know.
Right.
Yeah, because I ain't seen it.
Right.
I ain't seen it, I ain't heard it. So I'm like, no, he's not actually white. He is Puerto Rican. And then a little bit later, he was like, but yeah, it's hip hop. And he's not black. I said, well, hip hop was started by black people and Hispanic
Puerto Rican.
people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
No, and that's a tidbit he didn't know.
No, so much so a lot of people outside of don't really know it, but so much so it's really hard to tell where one ends and one begins in the beginning.
Facts.
It's hard as shit. It really is.
And the funny thing about that is a little side note. I saw one of these fucking hip hop groups, somebody talking about if white people, I guess, in hip hop, so is Big Pun, Cardi B, Nori, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no,
y'all don't see. This is, I just got a migraine.
Look, wasn't like Kool Herc part Hispanic or something like that? Like I don't
see this will make me mad, right? This pisses me off, right? But see,
it's gonna get worse. But go ahead.
What pisses me off, right? And I know I am in a unique position than a lot of the current fan base of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I was around when the shit they was literally playing 2 hours of it on the radio, and that's it. So that's all the fuck you got. Yeah. So my timeline is longer, and I wasn't on the porch with it. I was a participant, right? But when you don't know, stop making these like yo. You know goddamn well you don't know any. And this thing, people say, well, sometimes you don't know, you don't know. No, listen. Some things
you do.
You do know. You know goddamn well when certain names of hip hop pioneers come up, the first word out of your mouth is who? Right. You don't know them, and you know you don't.
Here's my thing with that though. Even to take it a little bit further. So let's say you aren't the most well-versed on hip hop origins, right? Mm-hmm. New York was birthed hip hop was birthed in New York. If you know anything about New York history, Facts. It is the melting pot.
Facts.
Like Facts. Immigrant central. Like, especially Ellis Island, all that, like all that stuff is stuff that's readily available knowledge Facts. That you can simply like apply to something that was born there. Generally, it's going to likely be multicultural in a way, right? To some extent, right. Like it's just. But anyway, I digress.
So okay, he wasn't just for context. Kool Herc was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Word, mm-hmm. And that's the other group that's forgotten.
Very much so.
All three of those groups.
Very much so. Jamaicans started hip hop, y'all. Listen, I know.
Hey.
I know. And here's the thing. That's why I look at the diaspora the way I look at it. Because the moment y'all start breaking this shit up into these little different things, like
that's what makes it confusing.
Yeah, like
because what you have with the origin of hip hop is Afro, Latina, Caribbean.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what you have with the inception of hip hop.
Facts.
That is what you. So it's like, But anyway, so moving on. Like I said, his questions weren't really criticisms. It was him worried and
he was worried. Questions. Yo, and his intent doesn't seem bad to me.
No, not at all.
Doesn't seem bad.
But then we get to his friend.
Uh-oh.
So his friend is apparently super militant. The super militant black. So two things that he said.
Militants without information.
I know you don't.
Stupid. It really is.
I know you don't. You haven't watched it, have you?
Watch what?
I can't. Hamilton.
No, I have not.
Ass. Okay, so all right. So then I have to explain this part. So the first song. So it's a little different than most musicals. Whereas most musicals, of course, they have music because it's in the name. Duh. Well, yeah, but there's a lot of exposition that is spoken. It still has the play element.
Like most musicals.
But Hamilton is different.
I mean,
Hamilton doesn't really have that much talking.
Oh, okay.
There's very little talking.
So it's more of an opera then.
Kind of. There's very they're about, it's a 2.5 hour production and there are about 44 songs. So like, sure, there's talking, but very little. And even of the percentage of it that is talking, the vast majority of that is inside of songs.
Right.
So it's very little transitional exposition as far as just talking is concerned.
Yeah, it sounds like opera.
The first song is rap with singing involved. The second song is rap, just rap. The third song, rap with singing involved. The next song, more R&B. The next song is singing more like a little more show tune style singing with rapping involved. And then the next song is when the king comes in. That's almost completely jazz show tune style, because his character is a juxtaposition. It's a contrast point.
Right.
One of the friends' complaints was, why is it that the first song that's any good, or something to the effect. I'm
paraphrasing.
I'm not even just paraphrasing. This is also third source knowledge.
Okay.
I didn't talk to the friend.
Right.
So, but he's basically something to the effect of, why is the first good song The King? That says more about you, my guy.
Yeah.
Because you went through rap, R&B, and show tune jazzy, and the first song that you liked.
That's about you.
That's about you.
And I hate when people confuse the two.
Oh,
like, you didn't like it, or you liked it.
Yeah.
That don't mean don't think for me, man. Like,
mind you, this isn't some rinky dink production.
Right.
This is an award-winning production.
Right.
That's gotten praise from the musical community as well as the hip hop community. Like, this isn't one of those things where like you could just tear it down,
write it off,
and have merit to what you're saying. Sure, there are issues with it, of course, because it's a thing that exists.
Oh,
so,
no, I've read some think pieces on it, and some of them I haven't watched it, so I can't say that they're valid.
Well, guess what? Guess what? I've read some think pieces on it, and they are valid, and I've seen it a bunch of times. But anyway, so that was one of his things, and the other thing he said was, why is there a situation where the black girl gives away her lover to the white girl? Now, mind you, number one, that does not happen. It just simply doesn't happen. But number two, she is not white. She is Chinese American. Now, and here's the thing. Some people might consider, now this is a potential issue that some people might have. There are no white characters in the play except villains. Every white person that has any significant type of speaking role is a villain if they're white. There's the king, there's the general that was on some bullshit, and there's the like town crier that's singing the king's praises. That's pretty much the extent of the white speaking characters.
So let me ask you this. I'm trying to phrase this correctly because I know why some people would have a problem with it. So, okay, I'll say this. It's funny how people's perceptions, their ability to perceive certain things, only seems to kick in about certain things. Because I can name numerous movies, whatever.
That's the thing. It's just like we've been saying.
All the
recently.
black people in there.
There are things that exist. There are things that exist. You don't have to make shit up.
You don't.
Really like don't. It is a thing in media that the black person gets the short end of the stick. That's absolutely that's a trope, damn near.
Yeah, it's a thing.
You don't have to make it up here. This is loosely based on history, so real events. Right. This is what happened, regardless of them meeting first. Mind you, the characters are sisters. So you're confusing both reality and the characters because you're using real world as in the people playing the characters. One of them is darker than the other. Right. And again, you misrepresented her as a white person. Right. She's not. Right. But that it happens to be the characters that they're playing.
But again, that speaks more towards the person making the criticism.
Exactly.
What they're actually criticizing. So.
It's like, bro, what are you talking? This is just incorrect. Like, there's one thing to have an opinion that I don't agree with. That's fine. Like I'll ham that up all day because I'm passionate about, the things that I like, of course. Right. But it's a completely different thing to just be incorrect. In real life, that's not what happened. With the characters in the play, that's not what happened.
Right.
I'm sorry. In real life, as in source material, that's not what happened. With the characters in the play, that's not what happened. And in real life, with the actors playing the roles, that's not what happened. So, what?
Well, see, unfortunately for you, people that like you're talking about like fact-based stuff. and increasingly it doesn't matter. And what I would say to you is, like right now, this particular space of time, you tend to go into a lot of the discussions I see you going into on Facebook with a fact-based thing. But what I'm telling you, from what I'm seeing and what I've been observing for a few years now, is the importance of that largely depends on the narrative people believe and buy into.
Oh yeah.
And if a motherfucker is bought into this anti-facts, anti-expertise, anti all of that stuff, like, trust and believe, the more people that buy into that, the less our arguments matter. I've seen it. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's infuriating.
It's despicable.
But it is absolutely moving in that direction right now. Yeah. So back when I first started really caring about this sort of thing, when I started to really see how this could turn society left, I figured, no problem. You just need a few rational warriors out there,
right?
Making sure that nah, B. I'm here to tell you now. The way the battle seems to be going, we're losing, and we're not.
No, we
lost. And that's the thing. We haven't lost the argument.
No,
we lost the narrative, and the narrative is what makes the argument salient. If you lose the narrative, it's like, remember we was talking about this a little while ago. When it comes to movements, the protest, and all of that stuff that's happening, this is the physical incarnation of a narrative, right? That people are basing their behavior on and their movements on, right? If you allow somebody to poison the narrative, taint it, twist it, alter it, make it weird, the way they perceive your protest will be different.
Oh,
will be way different. And this is the same thing when we, you and I do our best to fight for a more factual, more rational, more critically thinking world. But increasingly, the narrative is being controlled by people that don't value that. And these are people in positions on platforms that don't value that because they are very self-interested. They're very much concerned about what they can get out of it, right? And how shit benefits them. And I'm telling you, it's the reason why the gods wanted to stop Prometheus from giving the fire to the mortals. Not because they wanted to keep them ignorant, but because they figured they don't know what the fuck to do with that. They're gonna fuck it up. And look,
hey,
they gonna fuck it up. Yeah,
it's been fucked.
It's bad out here, yo. It's bad out here. It's bad out here. I see some of the screenshots you be sharing,
bruh.
It's bad out here, bro.
Listen, to the point where I've honestly,
you scaled back a little bit. I've noticed.
I've noticed. It's not that I'm tired of the argument. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I like arguing.
Yeah, but don't you? Wouldn't it be dope if you were arguing with people that were arguing in good faith?
Yes, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. That's the issue.
That's what tired me out, yo. Like, it's one thing for somebody to be honestly wrong.
Yeah,
they're generally wrong. They're not trying to deceive. It's not about some other agenda. They literally thought one thing.
Yeah.
And you presented some evidence like, yo, that's not what it is. It's this. And they looked at the evidence. Oh, because that person is arguing in good faith.
Facts.
That's not what I'm saying now. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No, not at all. It is what it is. I still have the same reason to do it that I was doing it for. Oh, yeah. It's not for the person I'm arguing with.
Right.
Fuck them. They're not going to change their mind because, like you just said, but they're not arguing in good faith at all. No. So they're not going to change their mind, and I don't expect them to. But it's for the other people. It's for the others.
It's for
this is a flashlight.
Yeah.
There's the problem. Look at that.
It's also a lighthouse because other people see that shit and go, well, it's murky. Yo, you know how many inbox messages I've gotten after having a long drawn out conversation with somebody who just presenting evidence and facts and here's the this and that, and it's still nothing. You know how many inbox messages I done got from people going, "Hey, you tried," or you that shit, man. It's bad out here, and with the reason these people would rather inbox me than go on that thread and combat it themselves because it is this shit is heavy. It's time consuming. It's a lot, and it's like then people say ignorant shit, and then they start dropping ad hominems. Yeah. And then you get mad, and then you it's a whole. And some people don't want to fill they don't want to fill their whole shit with that. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a fact.
But it's bad out here. Bad out here, man.
It's terrible, despicable. Part of it, I think. Part of it was I intentionally stayed away from it this week because I was on vacation.
Oh, yeah. See, being on vacation is more than just physically not going to work. It's also mentally resting, yo.
Absolutely. Like, I had planned one thing, and I was like, this ain't going to happen the way because, that wouldn't really give me rest.
Facts.
Had I done the vacation the way that I planned on doing it. So I'm glad I actually did it the way I ended up doing it. Like I was still productive.
Yeah.
But the way I originally planned for my vacation to go was like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do that, do this, do that. And that would have been dope. But I tended to lean towards, all right, we're going to be intentional with what we do, but we're not about to run around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Yeah, because by the time you'd have went back to work, you wouldn't have felt like you got any
at all. Yeah.
That shit ain't.
Nah, that wouldn't have been the move. Yeah, facts.
Leisurely.
Facts. All right, let's get into these topics.
Word.
A couple of programming notes. So last week there was no show.
I was sick as fuck. That's what I should have talked about in the opener. I was sick. Fucking.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So we did videos.
Yeah,
we did videos. And those were kind of like in place of last week's show, but we did not cover all the topics, so a couple of them I moved to today.
Right.
Which is the first one, Jaguar rights. So, just for anybody, I know what's happening. A bunch of people are gonna be like, "Who?" And I understand because it's kind of a deep take. So
I believe it. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, sure.
Sure. I have no evidence, but just I know it's not what she's saying is not out of the realm of reason. It's not. That shit.
Oh, no, it's not unbelievable.
That shit happened. So it's not unbelievable. So until I see something, she seems very credible. I have the same amount of evidence for it as I have against it. She seems credible. I don't hear nobody else talking. But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yo, that's funny. Yes, that is exactly how I feel about that. Mm-hmm. So if you have no idea who she is a singer. She's done some dope things. Mm-hmm. She was in the Philly scene. She was in the neo soul scene. I think that she did the vocals for the song for the Jay-Z song "Song Cry." Okay. She was on. She did backing vocals for Al Green. Like, yeah, like not that. Not that. We are not doing that. And she's done cover versions. She did the Gypsy Woman. She did a cover of that. She's homeless. She did a cover of that. Like she's a dope artist. Mm-hmm. Dope artist. Not the most famous person, but she's an absolutely talented artist.
Right.
So, let's get into this article.
Woo! Yeah.
Video of vocalist Jaguar Wright speaking about Common assaulting her while she slept is going viral. Jaguar Wright spoke about her relationship with Common and the type of person he is. Throughout the video, she speaks about how his relationships don't last and there's a reason they don't, implying that he's not the type of person everyone thinks he is. She spoke about assault and how she knows how to handle herself and that other women may not be so lucky. She said that Common put his private part inside of her mouth as she slept and tried to assault her. The video is a part of another larger video where she speaks on other men in the industry and the way that they treat women.
See, the first time I heard the story, I actually saw the video of her talking about it. Not the original one, but she was in
the whole video.
She was being interviewed by somebody, and she was talking about that shit. Yeah. And I had, like I said, going this, I have the exact same amount of evidence against what she said, for what she said. So and nobody else is talking. Nobody else is making any. I haven't seen any responses from anybody else. So I'm believing her because, like, nobody's just going to be able to say some shit about me like that, and I ain't gonna say something. So why you ain't saying nothing? Yeah, I do get there's public relations that you got.
Yeah, people. If you starve a narrative, that's the best way to beat it.
Right, exactly. But at the same time, the shit she's saying there, that's some serious stuff. And this is the thing. This is the thing. I'm telling y'all right now. For those of you that weren't born past a certain time, that might be listening to the show or whatever, nothing she's saying there is a surprise to me that a nigga would do, because that type of shit used to happen all the time. Probably still does. On the low. It's just that now, like, more women are speaking up, and more men are actually like listening. Because before they wasn't listening, quick to shoot it down and shut it down, all that. Nah. So nothing she said seemed to me to be crazy, because again, alluding to the fact that Common may not be who people think he is. That's the only thing I disagree with her about.
Yeah, I'm about to say that I don't think that equals he's not who we think he is.
No, he could be. You can be all those things. Yeah, you can literally be all those things, because humans are inherently contradictory.
Yeah,
you know, he could be all those things.
Oh my God, super bright. Tis with tis. But yeah, so a couple more quotes from Jaguar. Goddamn Common. Next thing I know, we go to bed and he's like, "Come on, Jag." And I'm like, no. I'm tired, nigga. Yeah, I was on the stage all night. I want to lay down. I laid down with my clothes on. I'm a rape survivor. I know how to buy myself a little time. Next thing I know,
the fact
I'm waking
that's
up in the morning
is fucked up.
Yeah. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the morning and I feel something poking in my face and shit. I open my mouth and this nigga tried to stick his dick in my mouth while I'm asleep. Lonnie fucking Lynn, Rashid, Common, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. That's why I stopped fucking with him, because nigga, if you gonna try to stick your dick in my mouth while I'm asleep, there ain't nothing you won't do.
I feel it.
I mean,
I understand. And see, this is the thing that, this is why you can't be a stan, man, because you need to hear what she's saying.
Yeah.
Those of you that are these super fans that will immediately close your ears and mind to what she said, I pity you for real.
Yeah.
I really do. Because, like, if you think that's not possible, that he could be the Common you revere musically and his other great thing, and also this, then you don't know much about the human animal.
Facts.
You really don't.
Oh, she continues. Fucking Talib Kweli used to come back to Black Lily in New York and hide out in the green room when we were getting changed, especially me, to watch me get dressed and undressed before I got on stage, and then wait for nobody to be looking to sneak out. I've been holding all this shit too, trying to make all you crazy backpack motherfuckers look good.
I'm just not. Listen, I've been in music for over 38 years. I done seen and heard a lot of shit, and none of this sounds crazy to me. None of this sounds. I'm just saying, none of this sounds crazy to me. None of it sounds crazy to me. Like, musicians, particularly ones that are getting some energy, they got a fan base. There is a certain form of entitlement that they learn with that shit.
Right.
So that shit's crazy, dog. Like, that shit's crazy. So
like I said, I'm not entirely surprised. Actually, I'm not really surprised at all. It's jarring.
To hear. It's jarring. It's jarring.
Yeah.
It definitely is that. And again, I understand the idea. If you starve a nerve, the nerve is like a fire. You starve it of oxygen, it'll go out and shit. I get that. I still
ain't no way I'm not addressing this, my guy.
You not. And I would address it if I did it.
Yeah.
And say, yo, I was
absolutely.
I was a different person back then.
We've been talking about that. Admitting that you're wrong is that's the move.
It most definitely is a move. And for the record, y'all need to go and look at go to Google Images and pull up Jaguar Wright during this time. Just go look at him. Go look at him. Go look at him. That's all. Because you might not recognize her now.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it comes to recognition. Like, a person, they recognize Common. Common got big, right? So a lot of times people will let the fact that he's recognizable, sway them on whether or not something actually happened or could have happened. I ain't gonna say did happen, could have happened. And because they don't know her, they think they don't know her, they feel detached from it. I'm telling you, I don't hear nobody saying nothing but her.
Pretty much.
And she doesn't come off to me as the type of person that got any cut cards.
Right.
She don't come off like that. So and also, she's saying it loud and strong, like she with all the smoke. She's ready for whatever pushback comes with that shit. So
Facts. I mean, tis what tis, my guy. Like, again, not surprising, definitely jarring. But I don't. It's one of those things where, like, I can't cancel Common because I don't really
see you sound
to Common anymore.
You kind of sound like me with that. Like,
I don't really listen to Common anymore.
There's nothing for me to cancel.
Yeah,
because I don't. I'm not saying that Common is not a phenomenal artist and
no, not at all.
I don't.
He was one of my favorites at one point.
Yeah, I don't follow his shit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything past. I'm aware of Universal Mind Control, but anything pretty much after B, I wasn't really into. So
right.
There's that. Yeah. So moving on.
Moving right along.
WAP.
Yeah. All right.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Good.
You niggas disgust me.
Yo, yeah.
Because there's absolutely no way in the world that you are being genuine or speaking in good faith when it comes to this topic.
You couldn't be.
There is absolutely no way in the world. You niggas literally disgust me. You make me sick to my fucking stomach.
Do you now see what happened? The way you feel right now.
Mm-hmm.
This when someone, come on, man.
Yo. And here's the thing.
You can't
Let me
see
start
yourself.
off by saying, I will never listen to this song again.
I didn't like the song.
To be honest, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't really hear the song.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. The only time to watch that video is to watch that video.
Yeah, I was watching the video, and your audio went out. That's perfect, actually. No, don't be upset. That's perfect. We're talking about the song and the video, and how the video is a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? The video sticks out a little bit more than the song, at least for me. And then your audio cuts. That's good shit, my guy. You can't write that scenario. Like, so, and I when I first heard about the backlash, it was, hold on, say something. No, yeah, you're not back. So the first time I heard about the backlash, well, the first time I heard about the song was the backlash. So the first time I heard about the backlash, I'm like, what are these niggas niggling about today? And there is the tired. Actually, both of these narratives are kind of tired. I'm gonna wait to get into those. So, but I hear backlash, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's a Tuesday, so shit just
Niggas
happens.
bugging.
Yeah. So then it dies down a little bit. Then Feb got on Facebook Live because apparently CeeLo,
shit,
and now he couldn't find the actual source for it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he actually said these things or not.
No, he said it. Okay, because he even apologized for it. He said it.
Okay,
Breakfast Club reported on it and everything.
All right, got you. So it did happen. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that doesn't change my opinion. CeeLo had a rape allegation.
Yep. Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Yeah, CeeLo, you're not the one to be talking about these things. Your career was allowed to continue. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Chill the fuck out.
Shut the fuck up.
You don't know what you clearly haven't learned.
I'm gonna tell him shut the fuck up. I'm gonna tell all you niggas shut the fuck up because
facts.
Every time when I heard what the backlash was actually about, like me, I'll come from music mode. So I didn't like the bars. I didn't like the beat. It didn't do nothing for me. The content is what it is. I've seen this before. So I figured everybody. I've seen this before. Like,
but the Fab thing, what reignited my anger on the scenario, because this happens often and niggas complain often. It was a fleeting thing that I was angry about niggas' complaints because I know it's gonna happen again. It's happened before. So I wasn't like super outraged. I was just like, these motherfuckers, right? That was my initial. And then when Fab did that live, because he came to talk about, somebody responded about CeeLo being a one-hit wonder, and he was disputing that. So I'm like, all right, bet. Somebody, I don't know this guy. He's friends with Fab, apparently. He hopped on Fab's live talking about an issue he had, 2 issues he had with the song. The first one was a joke. So I'm like, all right, it wasn't funny, but whatever, rock off. But the second thing he said was, yeah, it's weird to me because we just had this Me Too movement, and the Me Too movement was all about not calling women certain things or saying certain things about them. And I was looking at my phone screaming. Like, that's not what the fuck that was about. It was a small part of it. But to reduce, yeah, your audio just doesn't want to come back. To reduce the Me Too movement to just being, oh, we can't say certain things, is fucking ridiculous on one front. The second front is, no, you don't just get to say whatever the fuck you want to whoever the fuck you want to with no consequences.
And you wouldn't do that to a dude.
Right.
Because you know there's consequences, nigga.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, he was like, the whole Me Too thing was about not saying certain things to women, and now they saying it about themselves. You sound,
what he sound like?
Like a white
Who he
man.
Sound like? Yeah.
You sound like these fucking white supremacists talking about, well, they say the nigger. Right. They say it. Why can't I say it?
Right.
No, motherfucker. Right. They're talking about themselves. It's very akin to the word bitch. I no longer call women bitches. It's been something that I haven't been doing for years.
Right.
Why is that? Because there are a good number of them that find it offensive. Then you see them calling themselves bitches. And so what is my reaction? Oh,
you don't have one.
Yeah.
You don't have
it's not, it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's just like me calling you ass.
What?
It's just like me telling you shut the fuck up. I can do that.
Right. Somebody else.
This person over here don't have that right.
Facts.
That is just how that works. That's how humans experience various levels of tribalism. It is a part of our DNA.
It is what we are, yo. Listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. Every time I heard these niggas complaining about this shit, I would look at who the nigga was saying it, and I couldn't help it, but I kept envisioning him with one of those big witch-like hats with the big buckle on it, the buckle on the shoes. I'm like,
you called him a Quaker.
You a Quaker now, my nigga? Like, so y'all niggas haven't gone to those strip clubs. Y'all niggas ain't. So you a virgin. Yeah. You waited till you was married. I'm gonna need y'all to
lying ass motherfuckers. And the funny thing about this is, that it was serendipitous timing for them to drop this video, because I had started seeing this narrative swell up online before the video come out. Wow. Not about the song.
Right.
I've just been seeing people recently, guys, talking about, man, y'all need to stop twerking. Ain't nobody, it's not attractive. Stuff. First of all, there are absolutely women who do it to attract men. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, because they're all types of people.
However, the vast majority of people that I've talked to about doing that do that, is they like doing it.
And I gotta say, for whatever reason they doing it, that ain't none of your goddamn business.
They don't exist to please us.
You can literally not watch.
That's it. It's very simple. Well, y'all ain't got nothing else to offer. You don't know them.
You don't know them. And again, once again, yo, I swear when
it was a thing in battle rap. It was a thing in battle rap because Coffee Brown does it a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, she twerks on Instagram and Twitter and shit like that. And I think it might have been Swave I swear I hate Swave. Like, there's so many reasons why I hate Swave, and this just added onto the list. Unless it wasn't Swave, in that case, I apologize, but there's still so many reasons I hate Swave.
Right.
So
I like Swave, by the way,
for it to be him. Hey, it is.
But Swave is toxic, though.
Swave be on some bullshit. Anyway,
he do.
Somehow they got we don't want to see this no more. But it's not about you. Who gives a fuck what you want to see? Don't watch it. I don't listen to Cardi B. I don't listen to Meg Thee Stallion. This is the first Meg Thee Stallion song I've actually. No, I'm sorry. I'm lying. Savage. No, it's my Savage because of TikTok.
It's my first.
I've heard.
If I've heard any of her stuff before this, I didn't know.
You just don't know it's her,
yeah,
right? Yeah. The reason I know it's her. Well, the biggest reason I know it's her is shout out to Multi World Zone Kristen. That's how I know that it was Meg. But yeah, Savage. I've heard clips of Savage because of TikTok, and I've heard this song. I'm not interested in that type of rap, so I don't listen to it.
It's not my thing. But
I'm not going to complain about it and cry.
That's the thing. Like, okay, so me, just the type of hip hop I tend to like to listen to.
Yeah,
it's not that, and I keep the same energy. I didn't like 2 Live Crew.
Word.
I
didn't like Uncle Luke.
No, I didn't like that. I wasn't into that, right?
Now I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with Kim.
Yo, my stance on Kim was great bars.
Facts.
But even that, like
I fuck with some Nicki.
Nicki can spit when she wants to.
Facts.
Nicki can spit when she wants to.
So I don't know. It might not, for me, it's really not the topic per se. Like, the topic might be the second or third reason. I haven't listened to Meg enough to know. I just have, honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I just feel like I have limited mental capacity for new artists.
Yo, that could possibly be it. Because I know with me, like, there's a whole thing going on with me, though. Because I feel like I came into the hip hop thing. And
yo, hold up. Remember what you were saying. That reminds me of a meme I saw. Somebody was like talking about web, and somebody was like Cardi B, some lyrics from the song. I don't remember the fucking lyrics. Some lyrics from the song, and then it was like niggas, this is crazy. She shouldn't be talking like this, blah, 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 blah. And then it was like mystical. I came in with my dick in my hand.
See, right. Yo, see, this is shit I'm saying. That's shit I'm talking about. When I came into hip hop, right, those many years ago, it was one way. It was about the party, right?
Yeah.
When it transitioned to use that medium to be more political, or more oriented to the type of lifestyle I was kind of living, that's when I gravitated towards that sort of hip hop, and I didn't look back. Like when it got when the whole Pan-African movement, I was into that. I loved all of that shit, right? So I moved that direction. So when I think of hip hop, the hip hop that I typically like, it's gonna be some gangster stuff because that was a part of my life at one point. But it's mostly the stuff that has substance and stuff. I feel like it's so much out here to snatch from, to grab from, to make songs about. And also, I'm a movie kid, so I like movie songs that sound like kind of the soundtrack of my life when I'm going through. So my shit does not lend towards that, right?
Right.
But it's a difference between me having that particular aesthetic choice about music and what I like, than me acting all indignant because they chose to rap. But especially when I know, listen. I ain't somebody that just started listening to hip hop.
Right.
Nigga, I had the fucking Sugar Hill Gang album thingy. My brother won it in a dance contest.
Oh, good.
So for you niggas to act all shocked, amazed, and deeply saddened, like this is the first time you heard some shit, I'm looking at y'all like,
oh,
really?
Nigga.
Really?
I want to. Well, speaking of the that whole thing, like
the Sugar Hill guy,
you don't know, absolutely not. You don't see me. You don't. Oh, I spelled that wrong. God damn it. You don't see me talking about anybody whose name is Lil such and such that came out after 2005. You don't see me talking about them. Why? Because I don't like them. I'm not going to talk down on them.
Facts.
You don't see me talking about Cardi B. Why? Because I'm not really a fan of her music. You'll see me talking about Rhapsody.
Yeah.
So it's
you're
like
a fan of her music.
That's it. I have no reason to put down artists unwarranted. Like,
unless you,
why?
To me, if you do some fuckery, right?
That's not unwarranted.
That gives me a reason to say some shit about what you did. Musically, I will say this, because I come from the era where you call the whack MC a whack MC. Like that. Like I know, right. I understand that there's a point in time that occurred when you were no longer allowed to call a whack MC whack. Where if you thought the MC was whack,
despicable.
You had to keep it to yourself. Because if you didn't,
absolutely despicable.
The first thing they would say is, you mad because they got something money or something. Not the content. No one possibly could be concerned about the lackluster content, right?
Right.
It had to be because he got a car or some shit. Or
of course.
Or he wear furs or some shit. It has to be. It can't be that you legitimately go, wow, that is one of the worst written compositions I've ever heard. It can't be that. Right. So I get that. But what I don't get is motherfuckers really, man, these are guys who was just singing a few years ago, something, I can't stand these hoes, something, slut this, something. Y'all niggas was just singing this.
A lot of these niggas are babies of slob on my nub, like corn on the cup. What the fuck? What are you talking about, my nigga? All right, so let's talk about these narratives.
Let's do this real quick. Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks.
Yep.
Y'all was singing that, and now you what? All right, yo. Okay.
Now here's the thing: these narratives. So the one we've only addressed really the one.
Yeah.
The guys slut shaming, basically.
Yo, don't you know what we gonna start doing from now on? When we see some stuff like that, these okay, Jerry Falwell, but listen. I hear your point, Jimmy Swaggart, but listen. Y'all niggas look crazy out here right now, yo.
So we addressed that narrative. Another narrative was the whole role model narrative. Now, here's my stance that has developed over the years and me thinking about this whole role model thing. There are two sides to it, in my opinion.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is.
It is absolutely the case, because the defenders will always say, oh, they didn't ask to be a role model. It's not their job to raise your children.
Yep, that is
and factual.
It's true. Yeah.
That is factual. That is not the entire sentence.
No, it's not.
The other side of it is, we are influenced by what happens in pop culture.
We are.
There's nothing a parent can do, especially in this day and time, to stop their children from consuming certain things. This is not me saying that these 20-plus-year-old millionaires cannot do what they've done their entire career.
Right.
This is not me saying that.
Right.
But the argument that y'all need to raise y'all children is faulty.
Yeah, it is.
Faulty as fuck. Because that's not how that works. I'll just take my example. My mother was a single parent. I lived with my grandparents from, I don't remember when I started, but up until like 5th grade, I lived with my grandparents. Now I was below 10, so there was really not that much to worry about. And in the time that it was, the internet was nowhere near as prevalent as it is now. So that's a little different. But once I went to live with my mother, again, single mother. So, and she works for the city. So she 12-hour shifts,
right?
4 days a week.
Right.
So who was there watching what I was doing?
Right.
That's not a failure on my mother.
No, by no means.
It's just not. So like that again, that was before YouTube. That was before you can look up anything in the world on your phone.
Yeah.
But even still, let's say you do have neglectful parents, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Let's say you do have a 2-parent household where the mother is in the house all the time, available to supervise you, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what? You still go over your friend's house sometimes.
Yep.
They might not have that same dynamic set up. Nope. So no, it's not a y'all gotta raise your kid. No,
but see, this is the thing about that. Like, as I'm a parent,
yeah,
and the quickest way to have your kid gravitate toward that nonsense is to try to hide it from them.
Well, that's the quickest more way. Specifically, I would say to demonize it,
and that's something like, all right. So with my kids, we talk to our kids about all that shit. Mm-hmm. We talk to our kids about it. So you infuse your moral values into your kids, not by beating their asses, right, with a belt, by actually having these conversations. Now, they're not going to get all of it because they don't have the cognitive ability past before a certain age.
And some of it they'll just disagree with you about.
And some of it they'll just flat out disagree. But even their disagreements could be also based on the fact of them not having any world experience. I know me, I disagreed with my aunts and my mom and all of them about a lot of shit that now as an adult, after having lived and seen certain shit and experienced certain shit, go, oh, I had no reference for what they were speaking about. Right. So my opinion, which was an honest opinion, was an uninformed one. Not having, what I'm saying, you do not hide this from your kids. You have conversation about your kids, and also you can play that Quaker shit with your kids all you want, but the truth of your funky ass will come out at some point in time.
Yo, it's a trope that like PKs, for those that don't know, preachers' kids are the worst. That's a trope.
Yo, I was a preacher's kid. Good thing that preacher didn't get a chance to raise me long enough.
Right.
But my father died. Around time my father died, he was a minister of a church up in New Jersey. All right, and according to everything, people that got to really know him before I was even born say he was very good at quoting scripture. He was very in tune with all that. He even like contemplated doing the whole seminary thing, right?
Word.
So I'm here to tell you right now, if you think for 1 second that you trying to play that a role of the stern morality teacher with your kid, and that's gonna keep good way to have premarital pregnancies. Good way to like. I mean, keep it up. Keep it up.
Absolutely.
Keep it up.
So my point in bringing up that narrative is, no, we're not shaming Cardi B and Meg, but we're also not about to shame these parents because that's just not. Nah. Nope. Now this third narrative is the funniest one of them all to me. Funniest. Oh, this music these days. Let me talk about something real quick. Allow me to take you back to the year 1924. There was an artist by the name of Lucille Bogan.
Yep.
Lucille Bogan. Let me read the first verse of this song.
Right.
I got nipples on my titties, big as the end of my thumb. I got something between my legs that'll make a dead man come. I don't think I need to go any further.
No, you don't.
Again, 1924. 1924.
Now, we're not saying that this was super common back then.
Nah.
But what we are saying is it existed. People were talking like this. People were making music to this content. Now, going all the way back to 1924, and keep going forward. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think that as people started to learn more about the world, more about themselves, more about human sexuality,
they wouldn't talk about that
they
stuff?
wouldn't talk about that shit in music.
These are discoveries.
And people are going to talk about, and yes, some people are going to be very crass when they talk about that shit, because that's how some people talk. For instance, while I am not one to speak crass in that manner, I most certainly speak crass in other manners. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, it's like, I am curious now, because I better not see, I dare any of you niggas that are running around here trying to talk shit about Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion because of the content of what they saying, you better not have a single song on your Spotify playlist.
I don't want to hear no Ludacris
that even alludes to that shit. Your shit better all be either, it needs to be on a spectrum of gospel rap to common. Right. It needs to be right there, like right in there. Anything below
from gospel to conscious. That's it, my guy.
Anything below,
go no further.
Yo, get out of my fucking face with that stupid shit right there.
You can't even use gangster rap, because gangster rap has it in
gangster
it all
rap,
up in
there.
Yo, I don't want to hear no splash waterfalls.
No.
I don't want to hear no what's your fantasy. I don't want to hear no magic stick, no candy shop. I don't want to hear none of this shit.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No, back that ass up. I don't want to hear none of this shit.
Or there's some holes in this house. Yeah. I don't want to listen.
Especially because whatever. It is what it is. These motherfuckers, they bother me. They bother me, yo, because it's not your energy is so different.
I'm on my Ebony Moss shit. They exhaust me. Exhaust me with that ignorant show.
Like, come on.
Yo,
what are we really doing?
When I first saw a dude on the thread talking about that in that way, I then looked at the rest of the dudes in the thread, was like, does this chattering animal speak for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because this shit is dumb. This shit is super dumb. He didn't say nothing about he didn't like the beat, he didn't like the song, blah, blah. It was all, I can't believe they on there talking about it. And about the kids hearing this sort of thing. It's like you said earlier, yo. We are, that horse is out the gate, all right? Horse is out the gate. They don't have to, unless they choose to do that as artists, they don't have to suppress or restrain themselves from saying what the fuck they want to say as artists. The choice is up to you. The choice is up to you, whether you want to listen to it, and your kids are going to hear it. Please stop thinking they won't, because I heard Dolomite, I heard Fred Sanford, Red Fox. I heard Red Fox's stand up. You gotta wash your ass. That's the name of his stand up. When I was a kid.
Shit, Delirious, Raw,
nigga,
yeah.
And y'all Richard all Pryor, giggled,
my guy.
Come on, y'all all giggled, y'all all laughed. It's comedians right now saying worse shit than what they said, and y'all all giggled and y'all all laughed. So I'm gonna need y'all to back that. Like, yo, come on, man. Like, you Puritan motherfuckers over there killing me, and I'm calling you that, and I hope you feel a way about it, because you should.
Facts.
You should.
Yo, another thing I saw, somebody talking about we need less Meg Thee Stallions and Cardi B's and more Jhené Aiko's. Now listen, the funny thing about that is I'm not the hugest Jhené Aiko fan, right? But the thing that blew her up in the mainstream is the lyric, but you gotta eat the booty like groceries.
She said that. What year did that come out, by the way?
I don't remember. It's Omarion Supposed to Be. That's the name of the song, Supposed to Be. I don't remember what year it came out. But nigga, that was the thing that pushed her into the public eye.
And who was the ones? Who were the ones that were talking about it? Because it was, look, I heard dudes talking about it.
Yes.
So like, again, I'm gonna need y'all.
Is that because it was a man's song?
Could be. I don't know, but
like, I legitimately wonder if that's what it is.
Because it could be one. You might be right. It could be one of these cases where, as long as a man, it seems like this is something that he is putting together and had her say on it. Y'all ain't got a problem. But where was this energy at for all that 2 Live Crew shit from you guys? I didn't.
You know what? That legitimately might be the thing, because the thing about Kim, and when a lot of people that don't bother to look further or just use common sense, when they think Kim, they think Biggie.
Right, that's true.
They think that he wrote all of her rhymes, which is not the case, because not true. She literally put out albums after he died. But anyway, not the point. So you know what? That might be it. It might be because they feel like a man put this together subconsciously. Because I wouldn't think anybody would actually say that.
Nah, but I'm also going to ask y'all, especially you niggas, I'm going to ask you, these are your moral standards? Well, I'm going to ask you where you got it from. That's all. I'm not going to tell you where you got it from. I'm going to ask you where you got that from. Because y'all sounding a lot like dumb Puritan motherfuckers back in the day. But you don't sound like that about nothing else.
Not one other thing.
About nothing else.
No.
But you want to talk? Okay.
Gunplay is fine.
Gunplay is fine.
Absolutely fine.
Talking about murdering motherfuckers, killing motherfuckers, stuffing them up underneath the floorboards of your basement. Please, sir, may I have another? You know, like y'all had no problem with the violence and all that other shit.
Right.
And for the record, I don't either.
It's largely it's largely an American thing. I was having a conversation with somebody one time, I can't remember. We might have talked about this too, but I'm talking about the original person I had a conversation with.
Right.
Violence sex here is like violence is elsewhere in most other places.
Yeah.
Like we prop up violence and sex is taboo. Now, of course, the whole sex sells thing is one of the exceptions to this rule.
Right.
But sex is looked down upon more so here.
And, well, outwardly anyway.
Right.
Because, porn has made a lot of money for years.
But the funny thing about that is, sure, absolutely. But if you think about things that aren't classified as porn, they get rated harder for sexual overtones.
Absolutely.
Whereas French films, there's just sex. They because it's a part of the human experience.
Right. So that's part of the script.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
it just is.
Right. It's so crazy. But see, that's the thing that, like I said, once again, the contradictory, schizophrenic nature of Americans a lot of times, because you're openly, outwardly saying you don't want to hear that, that's not good, blah, blah, blah. You don't like that, what that portrays and all of that. But I'm looking at what you spend your money on. And that does not,
it don't track.
That shit don't track. Like, so what's going on is you don't like that shit out in public if it has something to do with you, but you don't mind somebody. And then that depends on the situation. Like, you'll sit there and have some of your favorite porn stars. I like such and such. I like such and such, right? But when another type of woman does that exact same thing or something similar or presents in that way, you have a problem with it. Man, I remind you, motherfuckers, that Cardi B was a stripper. So I'm going to need y'all to really fall the fuck back.
All facts.
Like,
and another last thing, because I'm not talking about her. Last thing that I saw about the role model thing is like, these are the people you want to be your role models. And the response was, it was another meme. And the response was, well, one of them is a married woman who talks about having sex, specifically even sometimes with her husband, like even naming him. Is very involved in political things, very involved in activism as far as everything is concerned, has had interviews with politicians so that people can see these things, that people that are fans of her can see these things. The other one, mid-20s, young woman, college educated, going to be like, I think she's going to have her master's in a certain thing, and they're both millionaires. Yes, absolutely. These are the people that I want my children to model themselves.
You know the other thing about that too, just as a cap on that, there is nothing. There are things about everybody that I would say, yo, I should try to emulate that. I should try to.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Y'all keep trying to put yourselves in this space where you're a role model. Are you a role model? You talking shit about them, but are you really? Because the expectation you have of them is not the expectation you put on yourself.
Right.
And that's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like, you don't listen, just because we don't know your dirty laundry don't mean you don't have it.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I don't want to hear that, man. Some of you dudes that are up here whining about the content of Cardi B and Meg's song have date raped women. I'm gonna put it. You've done it. You've touched somebody when they didn't want to be touched.
Yeah.
Some of you niggas are sitting there talking all this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't did shit. You didn't call them out there recently. Some of you done put your hands on your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I hear you though. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I see you over there. Bring them young. I hear you bring them young. That's cool. That's cool.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Yo, that is a little bit of a deep cut. I wonder how many people are going to understand. I'm not going to explain it.
No.
I'm not going to explain it. But I wonder how many people are going to catch that reference. But anyway, moving on. Nigga. So we talked about this kind of before. This is something that popped up a little while ago. And it was like concept art in a way. So it was cool. I believe at the time we both were like, I'm cool on this.
Yeah.
I believe that's what happened.
Yep. That's what happened.
I did not expect to ever hear this news. So The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to be rebooted as a gritty drama. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground was where he spent most of his days. Now, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, well, you know how that goes. Now, what up, Brooks? Meg is getting a degree in health administration with dreams of opening assisted living facilities. Thank you for that. Thank you for that help.
Thank you. Thank you, MC Brooks.
So these are the type of people. These specific things, these are the type of people I would like my child to follow their footsteps.
Absolutely.
So without question.
We see you Quakers and you Puritans over there. We see you. Look, I know what you're gonna be doing tomorrow, right? I know what you're gonna be doing tomorrow. You're gonna be trying to try them as being witches, right?
Right.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Burn them at the stake. But anyway.
Burn the witch.
So continuing, now the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, played by Will Smith in the beloved 90s sitcom, is coming back in a reboot. But this time, the story of the streetwise teen who moves in with his upper-class uncle and aunt will not be a comedy, according to U.S. reports. The new version will be based on a viral YouTube trailer that reimagined the series as a hard-hitting drama. Smith is working on the series with Morgan Cooper, who created the alternative trailer last year. At the time, the actor praised the trailer as a brilliant idea, the dramatic version of The Fresh Prince for the next generation. Will Smith's company, Westbrook Studios, will make it with Universal TV, while Netflix, HBO Max, and Peacock are among the platforms bidding to stream it, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Original creators Andy and Susan Borowitz will serve as executive producers, as will Smith and original executive producers Quincy Jones and Benny Medina. I did not expect this to happen. And let me tell you something. Let me inform you of something. Your audio is still not working, first of all. But I might be here for this. I absolutely might be here for this. I know, ladies and gentlemen, what I said before. I was being a little lazy. I started to go back and find that episode so I can get the audio of us talking about how we didn't want to hear it, just so I can juxtapose that with how I feel now. But my guy.
Is my audio back?
Yes, your audio is back. I might be here for this. I ain't gonna hold you.
Sir, am keeping the same energy. I don't care.
I
really don't.
I understand.
I don't care.
Now, I'm not saying let me clear this up. I'm not saying that I'm going to go out of my way.
Right. But when you see
I'm absolutely interested.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
it's the involving the original think tank behind
Agreed.
it.
Now that does give it legitimacy.
Yeah.
And a bit of authenticity. I will not deny that. However,
because it's one thing to just buy the rights.
Yeah, that's anybody can do that and then do a complete shitty job of representing
right,
and doing something that's not well thought out. And I don't doubt that this will be. It's just that I like my Fresh Prince silly.
You like your Fresh Prince? How you like your Fresh Prince? I understand. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. But again, you got Will and Quincy involved.
You know what's gonna wind up happening? The same thing happens to me a lot of times. When something comes out and I'm just not, I ain't into it. Everybody rant and rave about it. They'll watch it, and then years later, I'll see it. So I didn't see that. That's usually how that. Yo, that's how. Usually,
yeah. That's actually that happens a lot with me. Walking Dead again, which I never actually watched because it's terrible. Scandal, same thing. Breaking Bad,
Brooks says Breaking Bad is awesome. Brooks says, I agree. I don't think everything necessarily needs to have a gritty tone to it, but I'm kind of intrigued by this trailer.
Yeah,
I hope they keep some of the humor that helped make the original classic.
That part. I need them to keep some of the humor. It doesn't have to be a comedy,
right?
But I need them to keep some of the humor because some of the humor in the show was used as a device to make some of the concepts more palatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I absolutely feel like I don't want to see the Zack Snyder version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Hold on.
Like that's
you don't want to see a bill collector as Fresh Prince? I got the burner. You know I got the burner.
See, I'm not interested. Yeah, I don't need to see the
you don't want him with the burner? You don't want with the burner?
Nah,
he got come on, Will got a guy. He gotta have the burner.
No, Carlton had the burner. Carlton did have the burner,
man.
Hey.
They had to switch it up because Will was from Philly.
Facts.
So I expect him with the burner. Will also needs a beard. And he needs to be an Orthodox Sunni Muslim. I don't care. Listen.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, I don't think I don't think they're going that far away from the original, my guy.
Philly, man. They're going to Philly.
He still looks,
and he better rap. Like
sure. That I'm actually. I would like to be more of that being involved in the show. But like again, I'm not like scratching for this to come out.
I know what you're saying, but it's intriguing. You're
it's absolutely intriguing. I'm not running from it anymore. At first, I was running as far in the other direction as possible, but now,
right.
Like I said, with Will and Quincy being involved,
it definitely adds some authenticity to it, yo.
Facts to have the original creators. Will gotta have that Philly beard while selling bean pies. Listen to me clearly. Listen. I love bean. I have not had a bean pie.
I haven't had bean pie in
so many years.
But bean pies are delicious.
I need to find one.
Bean pies.
I need to find one because oh my god, absolutely scrumptious. Scrumptious is the word I'm going to use.
Scrumdiddly-umptious.
Scrumdiddly-umptious, my guy.
You saying?
But like I said, I think the trailer itself was a little too far in that direction.
It was dark.
I needed to scale back a little bit.
Will got the burner. You know he got the burner. God. You know he got the burner.
Again, I need to scale back a little bit. Bring it back a little bit.
So
again, you don't got to bring it all the way back to being a comedy.
What you could do, there's certain ways you could do this and still keep the theme of it being grittier. Like when we saw in the Fresh Prince television show, we saw that he when the bullies beat him up, he ain't really get beat up. You got windmills.
No, I need full makeup, my guy.
He gonna have to get. But also, Will need to put hands on a couple of them before they get him. Like I need. This is what will make this perfect for me. This is what would hook me in. That first episode needs to be that story. I agree.
That would hook me. I ain't gonna hold you. That would hook me. If the first episode is the telling of the theme song.
Right.
Oh,
and let's not make it be because the ball bounced off the dude's head.
Nah. He had to be smart mouth, because in reality, that's what when they did the episode where they went to Philly and he was talking about everything, he kind of extrapolated on that it wasn't really like that. It wasn't. No, he was being a smart ass.
Yeah, he's running his mouth. He's running his fucking mouth.
Exactly.
Also, the shit they had Will wearing, Philly niggas didn't dress like that. They didn't.
Yeah, regardless.
So I can't see him rocking those bright neon colors like he did in the original.
Here's the thing. All the outfits in the trailer are still those color palettes but muted.
Right.
So I kind of think that's the direction they'll go. Also, another thing is I wonder what time period this is going to be based in.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Because again, I will say, very familiar with Philly. Very familiar. I have friends from Philly. All of that. When Fresh Prince was on air, and he would wear that sense of style he wore there. This is clearly some shit they put in. That's.
But my thing about that is, it could have, like, I think sometimes people expect too much when they talk about certain levels of representation, right?
Yeah.
Because saying that, all right, this is a Philly guy. I don't think that you can still have your individual self.
Oh yeah,
the story is more based on his quote unquote story.
That's true. But I'm gonna give you an example.
Philly.
I'll give you an example. So it was 2 shows based on Baltimore.
Yeah,
I loved one of them. I hated The Corner.
I've never watched either one of them, actually.
One of the reasons I hated The Corner, everybody in The Corner was wearing FUBU. Listen,
that's funny.
Check this out.
That's funny.
I was appalled.
That's hilarious.
I was appalled and dismayed. And then I heard other people who had never been to Baltimore.
The funniest thing I've heard this year.
People that never been to Baltimore go, so y'all really ride that? No, man. No, nigga, no. Especially not during the time that the source material.
Yeah.
For the wire. No, nigga. Yes.
Right.
It was people that were wearing it. But the way the Corner made it seem,
yeah, it was almost as if the show had a brand deal with FUBU.
Yeah, yo,
no, I get that.
So, Brooks said he thinks it's set in modern times.
Okay, that's interesting. But again, I would like to temper people on the whole representation thing, because, for instance, if you look at my experience online. The stereotype of Baltimore wouldn't agree with what the fuck I'm doing, wearing, how I'm sounding, all that shit. Like they don't go together. I don't use the word dummy on a regular basis.
Neither.
Like it's just certain things.
That's also a fairly new. Like, I remember when they started over there in North Avenue, the dummy movement. I remember that. I was working at Philip Seafood when I started seeing a lot of them saying dummy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. We talked about the whole Doug versus dog thing. There's certain things that some of it I see, some of it I see less. Right. But there are certain things that are quote unquote Baltimore that I don't, just Baltimore. Yeah. Baltimore itself, the way that I say Baltimore.
Right.
I can't even say it the way.
See, the way you say, the way we say Baltimore is not, like, even in Baltimore itself, it's not a consistent. You go over there to some parts of South Africa, it's Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Like it's just even within
some people say Balmer, and that's what I'm saying. So like, I hate to use this because of how the alternative of us use this phrase,
right?
But we're not dealing with monolithic things.
No, we're not. But
so it's like,
is part of Will's actual story that he was countercultural in his neighborhood?
I think so.
think like
I'm not 100% confirmed on that, but I do think so. I do believe so.
Right.
Like, and nonetheless, it was at least his rap image.
That was definitely his rap image, without question. That was
so
definitely
like,
his rap image.
I don't know if that was something he created for his artist side or if that was just him. That part I'm not sure.
The vibe I got from the original was that the stuff why he was so much different than them was because he was from Philly.
Right.
And he had a different
right.
So that's why, like I said,
he had a different mentality overall.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't necessarily rock with all of the customs that existed, his mentality was still very much so.
It was very different. And that's why, like I said, you'll have people, it's a reason why you'll have people, I'm telling you, this show happens, you'll have people looking for that because they made West Philadelphia, born and raised. They
first thing you hear,
frame.
First thing you hear.
They're framing the narrative for it to be some Philly.
We talked about this, how stereotypes serve a purpose.
Especially
in narratives. They serve a purpose.
They absolutely do.
Yeah, you got to lean into some of those sometimes during narratives because it's
sometimes you don't.
Dramatization.
And again, it's like you said, people are different. Like even in the same town, people like, I didn't necessarily dress like everybody in our neighborhood, but there was a subset of people like me. I wore mostly black. I did have certain things that like I remember having a red and white Adidas sweatsuit, shit like that. But most of the stuff I wore was black. There's some form of black in it.
Right.
Everybody in my neighborhood didn't dress like that. Everybody, they didn't dress like that. You know what I'm saying?
Just like when I was coming through high school, the black tee, white tee thing was huge. I had a couple, but
it was easy.
My preference is always graphic tees. Like that's my preference.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, I think a lot of, because I remember at the time, the rap on the black and white tees, you said, well, people just copying each other, and that's not how I saw it. Like, yo, they were easy. Like, listen,
it's the plainest thing you can do. How is that copying?
Yo, it's plain. And
something that is not hard to do, hard to put together. Why would you attribute that to copying?
Yo, and I've seen people try to make the argument that it's because the people there wasn't thinking for themselves. And I'm saying, yo, do you know, first of all, how cheap these tees are?
Facts.
Do you know how
you can get a pack for like a couple bucks?
Yo, and then on top of that, because they're so inexpensive, if you mess one up,
it don't matter.
You ain't gotta wash if you don't want.
Niggas don't. That's what I was about to say. Some niggas don't put white tees in the dirty clothes.
Yeah, because they're not gonna come out as white and sparkly as they was when you first got them. So they feel like fuck it and toss that shit away. Yo, it was easy. They were neat.
I bought a black tee like
nigga
7 months ago. Haven't touched it.
And this also goes to show you the type of expectations they put on us that they don't put on nobody else. Albert Einstein used to keep the same set of clothes in his closet. And when the interviewer asked him, yo, these are all the same thing, he was like, so I don't have to think about it.
Right.
I really don't have to spend any mental energy. What am I going to wear today? I'm thinking about other shit. Here, bang, I'm good. And that was thought of as quaint. But let a bunch of young black boys talk about, we got these white tees. I ain't got to think about it. All right? Got my shit on. As long as my kicks are straight, if the jeans and shit are straight, I'm good. You know?
That's a real thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm not leaping for it. I'm here for it.
You do want to see it, right? You do want to see it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Is what it is. Like I said, I hope they tone it down a little bit with the super drama, dark, gritty. Like I hope they tone that shit down.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you straight up what I think is gonna happen already. So the Philly shit is definitely gonna be more than just a fight.
Yeah,
niggas gonna be talking about doing something to that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or whatever. He gonna leave. He not gonna want to leave because it's gonna make him feel like he a punk. But he gonna leave. He gonna go out there to there. And at some point in that series, he's gonna come face to face with gang members. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm certain.
It's gonna happen.
I'm sure some type of court order is gonna happen that allows him or forces him to move to Cali and all that. I'm certain. I'm certain. I'm absolutely certain.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Carlton gonna have a MAGA hat on.
You're so dumb. Oh my God! Listen to me clearly. Listen to me clearly. If you can hear my voice, listen to me clearly. If they put my man Carlton in a MAGA hat, it might be one of the most hilarious, unintended, hilarious things to ever happen.
I'm gonna tell you this: Carlton was part of the Young Republicans.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That man gonna have a MAGA hat.
Which is why when you said it, it wasn't like, no, man. It was like, yeah.
Okay, so Brooks asked a question. He says, related question. What rapper or rappers would y'all pick to reimagine the iconic intro song? Oh, that's a good ass question.
Nobody.
I can't think of.
I'm not doing that intro song.
No. They're going to do it.
Honestly, you low key, you know what I would do.
What's that?
This might be a little bit on the nose, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever does Jordan Peele's songs for his trailers.
Oh shit.
Nigga.
Oh shit.
Whoever does Jordan Peele's songs for his trailers, that's who I would get to do it. No new rapper rapping it. No. I would take the original song,
mm-hmm.
all of the song, and give it the Jordan Peele treatment. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, low key, I think that would be fire. Like,
yeah.
Because what he did, what I got 5 on it.
Yeah, shit was hard.
Man, I mean, hard. To make it a little bit less horror, of course.
Yeah,
but still, that type of reimagining,
yeah,
that is what I would like.
I can see that. But if they do decide to go with a rapper, there's got to be somebody in Philly.
PDP.
Somebody.
PD, Meek Mill.
Meek might do that shit.
Maybe.
Meek might do that shit.
Whole time? I ain't gonna hold you. Just given some of the things we've seen, it could be Joyner Lucas.
I don't want that.
I'm not saying I want it.
I don't want it.
But I'm just saying.
And it's not because I think Joyner Lucas can't rap. That's not what I'm saying. Joyner Lucas can't rap. But he does annoy me. I'm not gonna bullshit you. He annoys me. Some of his takes, some directions he decided to go when he wants to make a point in a song.
Mm-hmm.
Like me personally didn't much appreciate having to hear the MAGA version of what the fuck they think on that song.
I'm not racist.
No, I'm with you. I wasn't feeling that. But I mean, it would be technically sound. If
of course,
did it, so because he can rap, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. But yeah, my vote is for the Jordan Peele version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. That's my vote.
Okay, all right. I say Meek Millie jump on it.
Listen.
Give my man Meek Millie on it.
Just saying. The issue with that is
who represents Philly more than Meek right now? Like, just saying.
I couldn't answer that question, but my thing is, I don't know.
Well, at least that side of let me amend that statement. That side of Philly, because there are other Philly rappers that
absolutely.
So that side,
absolutely. Like, if we're just talking about my favorite rapper from Philly,
yo, Wallow, yo.
Okay. All right.
Do you know how funny that would be?
I see where this is going.
Yo, do you know?
I see where this is going.
How funny that would be for Wallow.
I see exactly where this is going. If we're just talking about like my favorite Philly artists, I would probably not go as far as Black Thought, but I would probably stick with.
It's probably my favorite Philly artist.
Yeah, I'd stick with Petey Crack, man. Petey Crack.
Okay.
Petey Crack.
When last song Petey Crack put out?
That's the issue. That's really the problem. So, like I said, my first choice is the Jordan Peele version. Mm-hmm. My second choice is Pipe Dream, Petey Crack. Mm-hmm. If I had to give a third choice, fine, Meek. If we must, I just don't feel like hearing him yell.
It is what it is. And that thing, I'm not the biggest.
On the west side of Philadelphia, like nah.
Look, I'm not even the biggest Meek Mill fan for real. Like I think.
I'm not a Meek Mill fan at all.
I think we all know who is the big Meek Mill fan. My man Ogma thinks Meek Mills is the GOAT. But
no, I'm never.
That's a bridge too far for me. I mean, for me,
there are definitely songs of his that I like.
Yeah. That's how I think of. Like, for instance, I don't believe you can say that when you come from a town that birthed Black Thought. Like, me personally think that is an outrage.
Yeah, it's me blasphemy.
Personally,
it's complete blasphemy. Like, I'm not accepting any Black Thought slander. Even indirect. Right. Even indirect, unintentional Black Thought slander won't be accepted. Nope.
Not here for
nope.
it.
Meet the best from Philly. You are lying. Not a fan. Go away.
Right.
I'd rather not speak to you again.
Ever.
In life.
Ever.
Yeah. Just go away.
I don't even want to hear your voice.
Moving on to what is probably going to be my favorite story of the show. And I'm pretty sure you can tell by how I titled it.
Yes. This is the part where we all throw our heads back and laugh.
Oh, man. So, Boosie is now banned from Instagram. Begs Zuckerberg for mercy. Boosie, who has been LGBT phobic, insulting other people's children while putting his own children under terrible conditions, has been banned from Instagram.
Yo, do you think the person that wrote this article has a point of view?
A little bit of an agenda.
Right?
But I agree. He was most likely banned due to having so much nudity on his live videos, having Black women expose themselves on camera, among other things. He posted a video today where he stated that IG deleted his account, and he's now begging for his account back, saying that the money he receives from endorsements, IG deals, and his show is how he has been making a living. Here's the video he posted stating that IG is how he feels family and not important. Some Boosie is hurt. Instagram deleted his account, and someone comments and says, "Call Mark Zuckerberg like we just got the nigga on speed dial." Because Boosie was imploring people to call Mark Zuckerberg and ask for this to be
nigga.
So somebody else commented, "I'm glad. He's an embarrassment and he exploits Black women for laughs and giggles. I don't fuck with it." Absolutely. Here's another thing. Brooklyn Carter. Is that the battle rapper Brooklyn Carter?
I don't know.
Anyway, bosses don't beg bosses. Bosses don't just have things taken. Bosses have multiple streams of income. He'll be demanding that Black people boycott IG. Mark doesn't care about rappers. He's throwing a tantrum like a child. I think all of the my issue with this comment, this caption is it's not cohesive. All of these individually I'm rocking with. It just doesn't seem like a cohesive.
It seems like it's all over the
like, what
all over the place.
You're scatterbrained, my guy. I mean, I agree, but you
know what? He could have see what you don't see in this post is that he may possibly have been laughing while he typed it. So it's all
that is factual.
It's all these things going in his mind.
Yeah. And here's another comment from the same person. Trash. Ooh. Instead of fostering a healthy relationship with his 72 children, I love that. I love that, dude. Yeah. He's mad that he can't get on IG and talk to the thousands that watch him act a fool, but only 300 of them actually buy his pathetic album.
Oh, damn it.
Ouch. That's a low blow.
You hate to see it.
Another person. Bruh. I'm crying. Mark Zuckerberg. Who is that dude?
No,
bro said bosses need to talk to bosses.
Zuckerberg.
He said, bro said bosses need to talk to bosses. Laughing my ass off.
Oh, wow.
Another person.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess this is a quote from the video. You need to take me to orientation or something, but you can't pull me out to school. Bullshit. It's happened.
Listen, okay, so if you've been watching or listening to our show for at least the last 6 months, you know we feel a certain way about Boosie and a lot of the bullshit he been doing, right? and saying out his mouth and all that shit. Now, this is what I will say about all of it. There will be a certain segment of the population, because they have another political agenda, that will say, see, this is about free speech. And they
I hate these
free speech.
I'm so glad you said that, because I meant to bring it up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a thing. You're going to see people saying. What I would counter that with is no.
That's not what free speech
That's
is.
not what it is. And you know what? I am not going to sit here and dignify once again you people with explaining you what that actually is about, because by now you should know, and if you don't.
Oh, I wanted to be petty.
Okay. First of all, the whole free speech thing is about the government not censoring your speech. And there are limits.
Mules?
And there are limits to that, because you cannot go into a crowded movie theater screaming fire. You can't do that. You endanger people.
There are certain amendments to that constitution, like that. There are certain amendments to that amendment.
Yeah.
That you can't do certain things. It's not a blanket.
You don't get a blank check to just go out there and spew your brain farts.
Right.
Your mental methane.
And again, even the things that it does cover protects you from the government. There are guidelines for Instagram. If you do not follow the guidelines from Instagram, they can do with your account what they wish. It is that simple. If you on there showing your ass, not literally or literally, and you're violating their community rules, it is not incumbent upon them to just let it slide. That is not how it works, and that is not how your audio works, because you're not back. So yeah, it's just not, it's not the move. Like, so I'm absolutely ecstatic. Your audio is still not working. There's nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. You have rarely heard me say anything good about Zuck. It just ain't gonna happen. The two things, shoot, it might not even be two things. The one thing that I can recall that you'll hear me say good about anything even remotely close to involving Zuck is The Social Network. The movie is an amazing movie. Chris did his thing directing that, and again, John Moore,
and he ain't starring it. Zuck ain't starring it.
Zuck ain't starring. He actually didn't like the movie,
right,
because of how it portrayed him.
Well,
so that is the one thing that I absolutely love that has anything to do with Zuckerberg.
Listen,
so you won't hear me praising him too much, but for this, and I'm sure he had nothing to do with this actually.
No, see, this is the other. this is the other thing I wanted to talk about too. Yo, when you sat there and said bosses should speak to bosses, I agree. Don't you need to go and find a boss to speak for you?
Facts.
It isn't. You are nowhere at the, and I'm not talking moral, because I think Zuckerberg is a piece of shit too.
Sure.
But I'm talking clearly just from a business standpoint. You can't even shine his shoes in the business world.
Nah.
You've done nothing to equate yourself on his level in business for you to say bosses need to speak to bosses. And this, Sir Bootsy, this is that ridiculous bravado that you bring to every discussion. This is what we mean. And this is actually how a lot of you other toxic dudes look. You look like the wolf baying at the moon. That's normal, I suppose. The moon baying back, there's a problem. Zuckerberg has no reason, and The Rock means none, to talk to you in any capacity. He probably doesn't even know who you are.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that.
Happened.
I would not imagine that he knows who Boosie is.
Fuck out of here.
There's no reason for him to know who Boosie is.
Why? Listen, to be quite honest, I shouldn't know.
Well, facts. Only reason I know who Boosie is because the Webby joint. Like
the fact that I do, I feel
BOOSIEBADZE. Know what that mean? Why mean that? Like that's the only reason I know who Boosie is.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I feel the same way about the fact that I have to know who he is, about how I feel about the fact that I no longer have an African accent. I feel robbed.
That's funny.
I feel tainted.
That is absolutely hilarious. Your political commentary and comedy surrounding it is absolutely A+, my guy.
I'm just saying,
A+.
I should not have to know.
This nigga dropping gems like Brigham Young. You talking about the African accent, man?
Listen, the fact that I can no longer.
I don't know if I stack up. I don't. I might need to get the gym because
so I'm just saying
these references, my guy.
I feel the same way though. I really do. Like certain people that I feel like the fact that I know them means I've lived in this country too long.
Yo, that's
long.
Funny.
Like I should not even know. I should be who?
Yeah.
Out of here. But for all of the people that do feel as though Bootsy has got a raw deal, he hasn't. You can't. They tell you straight off the break you can't have nudity and shit on these things. And if you bring up the fact that there are some IG models that are doing that, what I would just say to you is that, and a lot of times they get their shit canceled themselves, and they got to start a new one. There's several of them that have to restart their shit
all the time
after getting 300,000, 400, 500,000 followers, and they have to restart.
If you go through one of their profiles in the bio, it'll say something like account deleted at 400K.
Right. Some of them even go and make backup accounts specifically for that. That's part of the price of admission when you play that game. So if Bootsy want to go in there and act like big pimp, chief pimp, almighty.
What I need to know is who the fuck is endorsing Bootsy so I can boycott them.
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never seen anybody. But you know what? It could be some small companies selling urban gear or some shit like that, and they pay him a little bit. It could be some shit like that. And so there was no need for you to boycott them because you probably never heard of them and don't buy any of that shit anyway. Maybe hip hop chips. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm never gonna. Actually, probably because he does have a flavor.
See, so it could be shit like that. But
I saw that shit in 7-Eleven the other day. I was like, this is disgusting.
This is what I mean by when he says this is how he feeds his family. This is what I mean by you can't talk that boss shit to a Zuckerberg, because right now, if they close Facebook down right now, Zuckerberg is straight.
He'll be fine. His grandchildren.
You are not what he is in the business world.
He on some Icarus shit.
Yeah. And Bootsy is actually on some Icarus shit too, because
he's
flying a bit too close to the sun.
Yeah, you think that you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Fine. I'll show. Zuck was like, hold my beer.
No, it wasn't even Zuck.
That's the thing.
It was
Zuck has no idea this happened.
Yeah, Zuck don't. Who the fuck?
It was some fucking crony making
nigga
$175,000 a year.
Somebody like that.
Yeah,
caught that shit and was like, nah, you know what? Nah, you can't be doing that. Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he keeps playing games.
And this is the other thing. This is what you know. See, always say, you know how much of your success is what you built by a situation like this, because if Boosie is thinks he's so popular where he's making money off of his name like he says he is, you can literally start a website and have content on there, and the people that you say love you, right, would subscribe. He have Patreon, could subscribe and do all the shit. He can have an OnlyFans and subscribe and have them go and do that shit, and it'd be completely some shit on his own. He'd make a ton of money. Cardi B has an OnlyFans.
That reminds me. I'm so happy that she is opening up an OnlyFans. For you fucking perverts, that is not what I mean. Here's the thing. She specifically
said what was going to be on there.
It is not about that.
Right.
It is not about that. Right. The reason I'm so happy that she started the OnlyFans is because it backs up the narrative that we were explaining to people that OnlyFans is not a porn site.
No, it's just that they don't dissuade people from doing it. So people use it as an outlet for that. But now the narrative behind it right now is that that's all it is, and that's not what the purpose was in the first place.
No,
so anybody can start an OnlyFans, and it's almost like Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Like, just saying.
I think they don't do tiers. I think that's the difference.
No, they do.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
So,
They just do it a little differently.
Right.
It's the tier system. Yeah.
So, and you can pay for individual content.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can do that on Instagram. You could donate, of course, not on Instagram, Patreon. Right. You can donate, of course, but I don't think you can
pay for exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. I wish this would have been the last story because I didn't mean to put this.
I
didn't mean to put this last story last, but god damn it! All right, well we're here now. So, Black family claims their child they were told was dead is alive and was given to a white couple. A Black family firmly believes their child a hospital told them was dead was actually given to a white couple years ago for adoption. A man took to social media to ask the public for help after finding out there was a strong possibility his child was still alive. St. Joseph Hospital of St. Paul, Minnesota, told the man and his family that his baby had passed away. The family says they weren't given a death certificate of any kind and had to go pick the baby's remains up at a funeral house after the hospital told them they accidentally cremated the baby.
Jeez.
Oh, shit. Here's the post that was made online. About 3 years ago, we were told our baby girl, Rayla, was dead by St. Joseph's Hospital. Our lives changed forever. Trying to live with this devastation. He has been so hard. Trying to deal with this devastation has been so hard and confusing, only to find out recently that there is a strong possibility that we have been lied to and our baby is still alive out there somewhere with a whole new family. Mind you, we were never granted a death certificate of any kind, but was given an urn and a picture of the baby shown below. All this news is mind-blowing. We can use whatever legal help anyone can offer. If you know lawyers or anyone in this type of a legal adoption field, please DM if you have any info that may help us figure out what exactly happened to our precious baby girl. Any personal questions and such, please refer to my messenger for contact. Please share this post and help us find the truth.
Yo, this had to be one of the most potentially heartbreaking stories I've heard in a long time.
Right.
And what it has me wondering, let's give this family the benefit of the doubt. Let's say,
hold on. Let me read this part.
Okay.
The white family has deleted all their social media.
Yeah, okay.
And deleted their entire blog about their adoption process.
Okay. So,
where they documented that they received a call out of nowhere that there was a baby available to adopt, saying that that day seemed like a blur.
Yo, they answered my question. And first of all, they're lying. I'm going to put it out there. They're lying. What I was about to say was, let's say benefit out that all of this happens, and this is exactly what they saying. It sounded like to me, somebody's out there running this illegal business where they basically get money from wealthy people who can't have kids and don't want to go through the process.
Funny? You saying that? Here we go. People are believing the story because just a few days ago, the same hospital, but a different branch located in Florida, lost the body of a whole other baby as well.
Yo, I'm telling you, I think they were a victim of a smash and grab. Mm-hmm. They went there, had the baby, told the baby died, cremated it, the baby's dead, blah, 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 and they sold that baby to these people. because they didn't want to go through the adoption process. They sold that fucking baby and lied to these people. And that's why these parents shut all that social media shit down. Now, somebody could have made the argument they shut it down because they didn't want the people coming on their stuff and harassing them.
That's possible.
That's possible until you factor in they killed the blog of the adoption process.
Right.
That right there to me is enough circumstantial evidence from my mind, not in the court of law, but from my mind, that some shade tree shit is happening and has happened. And what really sucks about this is that poor kid is caught in the middle of it and was raised by these people. These are the only people this kid know to be the parents, and has all these, even though it's still young, it's 3 years ago, but listen, I'm a parent. 3 years old, you have experiences with the kid. The kid imprints on you. This is mommy, this is daddy, this is, you know what I'm saying? So if they was to go through the process and win and get their kid back, that kid has to go through this whole reorientation of who their family is, and that shit sucks.
Yo, you say 3 years. When I was with my ex, I was living with her for about 1 year, and the baby, I was daddy.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yo, that shit is horrible. I wish I knew somebody that could help.
Right.
The particular attorney I know does not deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that somebody, listen, if you want to show me that you're not a piece of shit, or show the world, fuck me, that you're not a piece of shit, and you one of these celebrities with all this money, and you hear some shit like this, go try to help them people out.
Because here's the thing, that does happen.
Yo, yes. Absolutely.
That does happen.
Absolutely.
There's some sob story that a celebrity gets a hold of somehow, and they feel compelled to help.
Right.
That does happen.
I would love to see somebody, because I can just, and then again, like, here's the thing. Then we get into arguments that we shouldn't have ever had to have. Like about, people would say, but all that child knew was such and such. See, this is the shit I be talking about.
That's absolutely true.
This is the shit that we never should have had to have that argument.
Right.
We never should. And it reminds me of when you go, basically you're going to have people that probably would try to cape for that couple that bought the baby, because they bought that baby, right?
Yeah.
They would try to cape for them, and I would simply say to them, you guys remind me of those farmers over there in Zimbabwe whose grandparents stole that land and brutalized the people there to get it. And then when the law said, nope, we got control of our country again, we're no longer a colony, y'all gonna get that land back. You got motherfuckers trying to cape for the grandchildren of the people that stole that land. Much in the same way, there will be people that's going to try to cape for these parents based on the fact that they said, this all the kid know. You know what? She's still young enough to reorient.
Facts.
So they're going to have some restless nights.
Yeah, it's going to be some
growing pains. But by the time that kid gets a certain age, after they done met the other family members, pictures of their real grandma, pictures of their cousins, and go to these family functions and all this shit, she'll reorient into that family position.
Right.
But you can't let shit like this. Nah, hell no.
You can't let shit like this slide, my guy.
Hell no.
It's terrible.
It's once again, it's the idea that if I may have stolen it and did something wrong to get it, but if I can hold on to it for long enough and keep the law at bay long enough, it becomes mine. No,
the whole possession 9/10 thing. Listen,
if I punch them in their face long enough, like do they then own my hand? Get the fuck out of here!
You stupid. So here's the other thing. that some might see as ancillary or less important or whatever. Mm-hmm. What if, because they weren't married, what if they broke up because of this? What if some damage was done?
Facts
to them, their mental,
psychologically, yeah,
and that ended up being too much for the relationship.
My dude, I know from personal experience people that are like family to me that happens. Yeah, that absolutely happens.
We're not acting like a child dying is not a major life event.
Right.
That can change you fundamentally.
Right.
So that, and then to find out that the baby probably didn't die.
Yeah. So now,
like, it's very peculiar to have a situation where your child dies and then they mysteriously get cremated.
Yeah. Who does that? And isn't that peculiar. Something that a family would make the decision on?
Right. Couldn't you? I wonder if you have a case for that. And what the statute of limitations would be.
Right.
Because that in and of itself, that's not fraud. Not even the state. Like, I wonder, like, how deep that would go. Like, so there's this shadowy figure in the background making all of it happen, but even the people that were not necessarily aware of all of it, but know that this isn't procedure.
Right.
I wonder how far all that shit goes. Like,
I can tell you this: if it was only 3.5 years ago, that's actually a good thing, because if this had been 20 years, this had been 13 years.
Yeah,
it would be a lot harder to trace the people involved. 3 years, not so much.
They might still work there.
They might actually still work there. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's been over a decade since I worked for Phillips Seafood. Yeah. You still can find records that I worked there. You know what I'm saying? Right. There are still people that are still working there, even though the plant itself is kind of closed down a bit, but the offices are still there. There are people that still work in that office that know me.
Yo,
you feel me?
I'm gonna tell you this. It's been over a week since I worked at my job.
Yo, you know what?
And you could still go in there to my desk and see some things that I might have left there.
So like, this is what I'm gonna say, right? Mm-hmm. Just to our audience that have been enjoying this show for over a year now. This is the last episode of Black Culture Geeks. It was a good run. But I can't with this nigga.
This story is just so depressing. I feel for them so much.
It really
I had to find some way to lighten the goddamn load, because
I am angry
terrible
right now. I'm angry right now.
Like, what the fuck? Like I said though, like, shouldn't there be a case? Let's just say everything is on the up and up. Shouldn't there be a case for cremating my fucking child?
I would think so. Like I said, I don't know all of the situation, but the way they're telling the story, they were just presented with an urn and a picture.
Right.
Like, the fuck?
How does that work?
Yeah.
Now, this is TV. I've never been privy to this actually happening in real life. I don't have children, never had a child be born that I helped make.
You brought here, yeah. You didn't bring him.
But this is just TV, so if this could be wrong. But when, like, a child dies, don't the parents get a chance to sit with the child before the child is taken to do whatever autopsy or whatever?
I would imagine so.
Like, come on, my guy.
I would imagine so. I feel like, like I'm angry. Like, somebody needs to be punched in the face many times and then sent to jail.
Right. Like, where they will continue to punch them in the face and do other things. Because they don't play with the whole child thing.
No, man. Like, yo, you stole, and that's because you see that pretty little girl. You stole, like, yo,
man,
listen. Oh man, the idea of it, yo. The idea of it. And especially, all I keep seeing in my mind's eye is me not having Siobhan for these 23 years.
Right.
Nah, B.
And then finding out 3 years that somebody took her.
Yo, I am mad for them. And somebody, and I'm hoping I'm not the only one. Hoping we not the only one. I'm hoping that there's somebody with some influence and some resources that can go down there and get to the bottom of this shit.
Right. And I feel like one of the most noble things celebrities can do is have these.
I agree.
I hate to say it like this, but like passion projects.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of them don't, because they fear once they do one, they'll get a deluge of. But sometimes I feel like this though. There is such thing as anonymously helping somebody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like if I had the money like that, if my rap career had ended with me making a shit ton of money, I feel like I probably would have did that anonymously.
Your next album is going to go platinum.
My previous album went platinum.
Okay.
You know, so I couldn't even keep a straight face when I said that shit. It went hood platinum. So,
okay. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, yo, if I had the resources like that, that's probably something I would have saw that story, and I'd have showed it to my wife, and we'd have had our peoples like, look, contact those folks.
Yeah.
And which I need. We got this lawyer here, blah blah. We're gonna go there, give us the information. We're going. I feel like that's some shit I would do, and I would do it anonymously, so I wouldn't get the deluge.
Yeah.
Of people, you know. Damn, that shit's ass, yo.
It's terrible.
To this ass, man.
Like, how? Like, I get
truly evil people. And yo, this is what I be telling people. Like, there was a time when I thought there is no true good, there is no true evil. These just concepts. Yeah. No, they're more than concepts. Yes, they are, in my view, wholly created and precipitated by humans. If all humans on this planet was to go, there would literally be no evil on this planet. Like, humans are the vessels of this shit. Right. But it's palatable. It's something you can literally touch and feel, and it's demonstrable. That's evil. You took these people's kids, and I know the justifications that must have been had could have been anything from they were poor, we're giving the kid a better life,
they're
and at the same
relationship,
time, okay, all of that still warrants you getting punched in your face.
Yo,
many times.
My biggest issue with this story is, from a logistics point of view, how many layers of it exist to be true or not.
Yeah, there's a whole a machine.
Yo, there's a possible scenario that could exist where they had the baby, they were told the baby died, the baby was taken, and the family that adopted it is none the wiser. That is absolutely possible.
But my question always would be then, there is a profit motive somewhere in here. Somebody made money off of it.
Right.
So if it wasn't the parents themselves kicking out bread, who kicked out the bread to get somebody in this chain made money?
It could be the people that own the hospital, because like I said, the same hospital but a different branch in Florida versus Minnesota had a similar situation where the remains of a baby disappeared. So,
but who's paying the money is what I'm like.
But I'm saying it might not be a direct payment type thing. It could be like how many, like, for instance, to talk about this, we almost got through a whole episode without talking about COVID-19.
Yeah.
There's the thing where the hospitals are getting more government funding for saying that they're dealing with COVID-19. Right.
Yeah, I've read into that. So it's not quite as the way the conspiracy theorists are making it.
So let me address the conspiracy theory real quick.
Yeah.
So the thing behind that, however factual that is very specific.
Mm-hmm.
But just the parts that are factual, people are taking that to mean that there are hospitals that are specifically saying that people have COVID-19 when they don't. And the justification that they're using is because we have very short attention spans. We tend to be very gullible, and the gullible nature is fueled by a lack of interest and a laziness.
Right.
Because the idea that, oh, well, he didn't die from COVID-19. He died from a heart attack. And the reason that that's not COVID-19 is because COVID-19 is a respiratory illness. That is not the case. What happens with science is science is a process. Science is not the end all be all. There are things that we've reached a certain amount of comfortability with that we can say that we believe that this is the case.
Right.
But that is not in the absence of a new study.
Right.
Changing
right.
If a new study comes along that gets peer reviewed and it has a certain success rate, then the amendments will happen on whatever the established fact is. So basically what us as Americans did is we watched the scientific process
happening in real time.
But we don't know the scientific
process. So that's why when you hear somebody make a certain statement about COVID-19, you go, but they said it was this then.
Right.
Yeah, because that was the information they had then. Don't you kind of get how this works?
The initial thing was that
they didn't stop studying
respiratory sickness solely. That is not the case. What COVID-19 does is it causes blood clots.
Right.
One of the things that blood clots can do is dislodge and end up in your lungs.
That's right.
That is the respiratory part of it. What another thing that a blood clot can do, it can cause you to have your leg amputated.
Or stroke.
It can cause you to have a stroke.
Yeah.
It can cause you to have a heart attack.
Right.
It can cause you to have a bunch of different things. So no, a person dying from a stroke does not mean they did not have COVID-19. A person dying from a heart attack did not mean that they did not have COVID-19.
Right.
That could be literally the reason that they developed the blood clot that led to the heart attack, the stroke, the amputation, the pulmonary embolism in any way, shape, or form. So anyway, yes, that is the whole thing. So I that's the conspiracy theory addressed. But my point is, it could be some type of situation where there's some type of program incentive for their hospital to have a certain amount of adoptions, or they might be connected to another organization that has that certain quota or incentive to have that many. So it might not actually be a direct payment. It might just be a situation where, all right, I see it as a situation where I can capitalize on this and push more into this particular funnel for my income. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So
it's yeah, man.
It's depressing.
It really is. And let's put a pin in this story and be on the lookout for any developments later on.
Absolutely.
Because I would very much like to know what happens.
I would like this to be resolved.
Me too. But
honestly, this is craven. This is a little craven of me. I ain't gonna hold you. What I would prefer, my dream scenario for this is, through whatever means necessary, they find out that this actually is their daughter. They get the daughter back, and they get a bag from that. From whatever way, if it's from a lawsuit, if it's from some type of documentary, if it's from a YouTube channel, I don't care.
Listen, hold up, it's real simple. This is either hospital malfeasance or hospital negligence. One or the other. That hospital gonna have to pay. If the motherfucker that's involved with this was working for the hospital, and I see no reason to think they weren't, to be able to pull this off.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's money to be had, my brother, and that money should be given to them forthwith.
Yes,
forthwith.
Facts.
Fuck that.
Yeah, man. Like, that is my dream scenario for this.
Yeah.
The only reason I include the YouTube and documentary things is because I would like to be informed on the process.
I would love to know. I want to know every step of the way and see people get made to pay for this shit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. It would be the same. It would be the same perverse mindset of mine that made me love Surviving R. Kelly. It would be the same. It would be the same thing. Honestly, it would be the same impulse in my mind that gets satisfied from me watching Surviving R. Kelly, knowing that
I get that
these people got what they deserved on both ends. The parents and whoever is responsible for orchestrating this shit.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's my one ask.
I want that same ask. And believe me, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know if they still running the lottery anymore because of COVID.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But if I ever won, I'm looking this back.
Passion Project. You talking about Passion Project?
Nigga.
Passion Project. Nigga. Hey, you the one with the missing daughter?
Yeah, we got.
Let's talk.
We got you.
Let's talk
about this.
Yeah.
Give us all.
What do you feel like you need?
What do you want? What do you want us to do? You want us to send some lawyers down there, some investigators down there? What do you want us to do? And unlike El Cheeto, who claimed he sent investigators down to Hawaii to check on Barack Obama's birth certificate shit, and then claimed you wouldn't believe what we're finding down there, and then came back with nothing, and then didn't even want to talk about it anymore.
People don't say bupkis enough.
They really do. I'm petitioning right now for the word bupkis to be used more often in conversations.
Facts. He came back with bupkis.
Bupkis. Nada.
Zilch. Zero. Cero for my Hispanic people. Like, come on, man.
Nothing.
It's a sad note.
It's a sad
story on.
Yeah, it is.
To end the show on.
But in the show, we must.
Yeah.
And we want to thank all of you that are listening to this on the audio. We want to thank MC Brooks for stopping by the live stream.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate that, bro. And of course, this show shall continue. Like we will literally be doing this show when that giant asteroid finally comes.
Why would you assume it's going to be an asteroid, though?
My
money's on COVID. No, my money's on COVID.
No, I don't think COVID's going to finish. I think COVID's going to soften us up, and then Galactus is going to just step right on the planet. Like, we're going to see some bald silver dude on a fucking surfboard coming through the clouds. Coming through the clouds. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to know. We're going to hear something rumbling through the crowd saying, I hunger. And I'm just going to... I'm
gonna hit you up like, did you hear that shit?
I said, not only did I hear it, I'm setting my camera and my Sparkle cam up now. Let's run this last episode streaming this shit live. Live. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
Thanks.
So that's right.
No question.
That's right, folks. Even in the face of apocalypse, we will.
Nah, we ain't even talking about him.
Look, we will. Thanos can come with the snap. We will be snapped in these chairs.
Hey,
dust. You gonna see this dust. That's the shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's how cross the bear, man.
It is what it is. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, yes, and that includes Cyrus, we are out.
Peace. Yo,